Looks good. Looks almost center.
All right. Do we have the audio going?
Yep.
All right.
Let me turn on this recorder doohickey here.
The recorder thingamabobber.
First, I'll turn off
Let's go
reception.
My channel.
Because I learned the hard way. If I'm recording on this voice memo and I get a phone call, the voice memo stops. It stops recording.
If you get a phone call, it stops?
Yeah, if I get a phone call, it stops.
Oh, well, you gotta tell them to stop calling you. All those bill collectors.
They know I don't even like to talk on the phone either. Man, we got a fucking packed show.
All right.
I've been looking forward to this episode since last week.
Yeah.
Hopefully Arnold's in the chat so that he can fill in his 2 cents, or that Hector can fill in his 2 cents.
All right. I got the page shared, or the post shared on our Facebook page. Let me see if I can put that on our or on my personal page. Write a post.
Oh.
Yeah, all right.
I'll get there.
Boom. Got it.
Oh, shit. Are we ready?
Yeah. Live from the landing strip in Houston, Texas. It's the 385th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
It's Chris.
And thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. We very much appreciate it. If you are watching us live and in Technicolor, thank you. Log in to your YouTube account. That way you could chat along with us in the live chat.
Live chat's already on.
It's already on?
Oh, God,
Hell
JoJo.
Yeah. JoJo, what's up, my brother? Nice to see you, JoJo. Be like JoJo, log in. I'll see you in the live chat. I'll try to involve you as best as I can in the show. If you just want to say hi, fact check us, ask us questions, talk shit, whatever. I'll see it, and I can involve you as best as I can. If you're not watching us live, that's okay. You can still interact with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. Chris, how the hell are you?
I'm tired, man.
Yeah?
I'm so tired. It's been a long fucking week. And it's humid as fuck here. That, You know what? That's the one thing I learned yesterday. It's humid as fuck here.
You barely learned that? How long have you been living here?
Too long. So I was at Dynamite last night. 4 Horsemen, honorary replacement. Arnold took your spot.
Yes, he did.
We waited for an Uber on the way to go back home. We were outside for 6 minutes.
What?
A lift. It was Scott's app.
Oh.
Scott's phone. So he was the one. And
Scott
passing the buck. 6 minutes and my arms were fucking shipley glazed, covered in sweat. Travis was bleeding from the face. It was all clear. It was all sweat.
Oh, yeah.
Scotland, the Scottish people, they don't sweat. But goddamn! Dynamite last night.
Yeah.
Did you watch?
Yes, sir, I did.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
One word.
Fun.
Yeah?
It was a fun show. It was really good. All the matches front to back were solid. It almost had that takeover feel where it's like, we're not sure if this is going to be that good. On paper, the matches sound all right, but I'm not sure about the build for 2 or 3 of them. But there's a couple of them that have good build. We're not sure. And then bam, 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 bam. Top to bottom, they were all bangers. Yeah.
Your match of the night.
I'll tell you what I want to say is match of the night, but I don't think I can say it in good conscience. My match of the night that I want to say is Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks.
Whoa!
I want to say it. I want to say that is my match of the night, but I don't think I could fully commit to that unless you convince me otherwise, because it's almost too obvious. It's almost too cliche to say main event, Jericho, MJF. They've had this long feud. They had what we thought was going to be a blow off. The fucking moment of all moments for the past year, or maybe even 2 or 3 years, with Houston. This is Houston Wrestling Radio, and it was Houston that got the moment to sing Jericho's theme song without it actually play. That was so cool. It came out cool on TV, right? I wish I was there in the audience with you guys to do that, because it was just awesome. But and then the swerve of MJF actually winning, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
By submission.
That was so surprising. So surprising. What? MJF, he went through the 5 labors of Jericho to beat all these fucking other jabronis, to get to MJF, to have this blow-off feud. Of course Jericho's going to win this, because this is a blow-off of the feud. And not only did Jericho lose, but he lost by submission? What? What? I've never been so pleasantly surprised by a finish that pissed me off so much.
I am going to start the debate / argument by putting a big fat asterisk on the entire night.
Why?
And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Your boy, cheap mofo right here, always gets the nosebleeds. Always goes to the top. I got 25 on that. Nah. Fertitta Center is gorgeous.
It is.
You couldn't tell by half of it because the hallway lights were all off.
Okay.
So you're just guided by the light in the middle of the arena, almost like flies to the zapper. It felt good passing by Scott's Brewery Buddies on row 18.
Mm-hmm.
It felt better walking by Aaron and Bacon and Foreman on row 11.
9 or whatever.
9.
Yeah.
And it felt even better when we got to row 2. And there are only 6 seats in that row, and 4 of them were mine. Yeah.
Ding. Wait, where's Dingy?
It's taking a break.
Okay.
Until you realize half. I'm the banker. I stayed up last night with the calculator. Half of the action on Dynamite was outside of the ring.
Oh.
So when you're second row from the floor on the lower bowl, you don't see any of that shit because you're not above it. You're behind it. Half of every fucking match. I had to complain about NXT too in the Capitol Wrestling Center. Everyone has to eat the glass, that hockey glass that surrounds the ring at one point in every fucking match. Dynamite, every motherfucker. It was like the ring was lava. Let's get the fuck out. And I couldn't see shit to the point that we had to turn around to see the HD monitor in the back. And when it started showing up on television, that people on the floor are not looking in front of the ring, but behind, they shut the fucking TV off.
What?
The monitor on the back, the scoreboard, they shut it off.
Oh.
And then all WWE's misgivings, 99% of the time when you're at a live show, you see the main camera feed on the Titantron.
Okay.
Nah, all they were selling was Dynamite. So you could, if you were not in front of the ring, and Fertitta being a one level, I don't even think the people on the highest parts of those sections were able to see everything that happened outside of the ring.
Okay.
Unless you were in front of Jericho, unless you were in front of Moxley and Kingston when they got jumped by 2.0. Or if you were ringside when Darby Allin started throwing himself around like he was auditioning for Jackass Forever, which he won. Half of that shit, it was hard to enjoy. There's things that I'm leading myself to believe are match of the week candidates or picks, but I can't with a full conscience say it because I missed half of it by happenstance. Because the one time I get decent seats, I can't see shit. So I will start with my defense of MJF and Jericho.
Okay.
Accentuate the positives, hide the negatives.
Yes.
Chris Jericho, goddamn 50 years old.
Yes.
Ultimate Warrior now. He's huffing and puffing before he even gets to the ring.
Yeah.
So what do? You go slow. Go slow. The first 5 minutes, if you go back and watch that match, it isn't a wrestling match. It's just like tit for tat, something small. Jericho wasn't hitting the ropes. Jericho wasn't jumping off of shit. They built it from the they went from like 1,000 RPMs and then slowly started putting some weight on the pedal. And you could see the momentum and the build in the story going on to where the part where MJF took the brace off and was actually attacking Jericho's arm. Maybe it was in the heat of the moment, but towards the end of that match, Jericho didn't seem to be as gassed as he normally is in singles matches and main event level.
I agree.
And that's to the detriment of how that match was laid out. And MJF slowing it down a little bit. MJF's young. He can go fast if he wants to. You've seen his matches with Sammy Guevara, with Cody Rhodes. He can go.
Yeah.
But I give credit to MJF for slowing down and carrying some of that. And the goddamn storytelling at the end, man. The fact, and here's where I've read a lot of people critique this part. Jericho used the bat without the referee knowing.
Yeah.
But then chose not to hit him with the Judas effect, also when the referee wasn't showing. And then fans are like, then what's the point? Like, why use the bat if you didn't use the Judas effect?
Yeah.
It's heel on heel crime because Jericho's been a heel. You don't want to give MJF any motive to say, yeah, you beat me, but you had to use the move that I told you not to use, even though the referee wasn't looking.
Yeah.
So it made sense in that way that Jericho's like, no, I'm gonna beat him my way. I'm not gonna do it like a heel would, like MJF would. Okay. Came back to bite him. And then Jericho, that split second where he like reversed it, everybody lost their shit.
Yeah.
Oh man. And even me being live in the audience, there are times, you know, I can nibble my ear a little bit, rub my belly, you know, let me know that it's coming, lube it up. I don't mind a little foreplay. I don't mind a little pain. So watching everyone get pissed when MJF won that match was so funny. Holy shit, that was so funny. But it's the right thing. Yeah. Jericho's entire existence in AEW from the moment he showed up is he's trying to bring all the new talent up to his level.
Yeah, putting other folks over, which is what he was doing a lot in WWE also in his later years.
Last runs. Yeah. So I knew MJF was winning.
Yeah.
I had it in my gut MJF was winning.
I didn't know. I thought for sure Jericho was going to win.
You could, if I have the pencil, you could still have Jericho use the Judas when he had the opportunity to, and have like the ultimate blow off at All Out.
Yeah.
Because I was under the impression, the way this was booked, that you had to go through these 5 labors and then get MJF. I didn't know MJF was the fifth. Yeah. So
I'm with you there.
And yeah. It's kind of riding this curtail somewhat of disappointment because I was expecting that at All Out.
Okay.
What else I was expecting at All Out was Omega versus Hangman.
Okay.
And that's not happening, which we could talk about that later.
Okay.
But it was weird to have that match there, but I'm not going to complain because I'm fucking there. The other match was the opening match.
Okay. Can we pause before you get to that match?
Sure.
JoJo, we already said hi to. Arnold.
Hey!
Welcome. And Daniel. Welcome.
Dang.
Yes. They're kind of blowing up stuff here in the live chat. That's why I was like, we need to pause. Chris Daniel says, Chris is like, and I'll tell you why, for a cheeseburger and a cerveza.
No cheese.
Arnold said that those seats were tiny.
Yeah, they were angled, so you didn't have that room. Yeah, he was.
Maybe your ass is just fat, Arnold.
You know what? I wasn't gonna say it
with the pH.
I wasn't gonna say it, but since you mentioned it, he's when he's like this, he's a little stout, a little bit crouching up my space.
And there was only one men's room in the whole arena. Is that true?
Yes.
Holy shit!
The line was long. Thankfully, guys can piss standing up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now,
But the lights were off in the entire hallway, so I couldn't even see the merch table to see what they had.
Oh, that sucks.
That yeah.
I haven't seen Jericho do a third rope Hurricane Rana since WCW. Yeah.
For all the crap that Jericho's been getting this year about his cardio and his physical appearance, as far as his stomach goes, he did everything so good yesterday. Yeah. There were kids behind us, and they're like, "Does Jericho still do the moonsault?" And the friend's like, whoop, "The dude's like, salt. Yeah, kind of lion salt. This dude still lion salt? Yeah, kind of." Nah, that motherfucker did it fucking postcard perfect.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Looked the best he did, and again, I think that goes back to they started slow so that Jericho still had gas at the end.
Yeah,
because we haven't even gone through the layers because it's been 4 weeks or 3 weeks. Jericho versus Juventud.
Yeah.
Jericho and Wardlow. Jericho and Nick Gage.
Yeah, we have our reservations about it, but you know.
Oh no, we're gonna lay them out real quick right now.
All right.
Nick Gage can't wrestle.
Ding! Where's Dingy?
The fundamentals of pro wrestling. What are you gonna do when I go like this? Thank you. Even if it's delayed. Nick Gage probably sold one move the entire time. If he's got set, he was sitting perched on top of the turnbuckle. Jericho's giving him headshots. Nick Gage is just like this.
Yeah.
Jericho's kicking him, and Nick Gage is sitting down in the corner. He's just going like this. He did like what? 1 wrestling move, 2 wrestling moves.
Yeah.
He sold the pizza cutter after it got on him.
Yeah. All the rest were the
shit. He sold nothing. He almost sold negatively. Yeah. And I don't even know how that can be done. Some of those labors, yeah. So like he got all that and turned it into what we got with fucking MJF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, like the one time. The time it was due.
Daniel says Arnold's ring name will be El Gordísimo.
No, man. You if you're gonna give someone a luchador name, it has to be heritage. So how fitting that there's a position open that Arnold could be El Nuevo Super Porky. Carry the legend, brother.
Arnold did say hearing the dad a few rows back breaking things down for his kid was gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. Do you have any more to say about that? Like dad was just breaking down stuff for the kid?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There was a lot of that. Definitely a lot of that going on. The opening match was Sting and Darby Allin. God damn.
Hijo de Son of Porky? Son of Porky Jr.?
Yeah.
Or Super Porky Jr.?
It felt so good to see Sting wrestle. He's looked in great shape to be 61.
Yeah.
Again, you might not like the booking, you might not like what's done, but in front of that audience, AEW gave that audience what they wanted fucking all night.
Yeah.
There was not, yeah. And I had Travis there.
Yeah.
Who's like the son of Cornette.
Old man Travis.
And Scott's kind of rubbing off a little bit. And to an extent, he's kind of rubbing off on me a little bit too.
So much
but
rubbing.
I see the. But I can find a middle ground. So when I'm hearing everybody on my left talking shit, and I lean to my right, and Arnold's like, God damn, this is good. This is Arnold's first AEW show. And I bet it ain't going to be his last.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking good.
Yeah. Arnold chimed back in about the son of Porky and all that. He said, nah, I'm going to be hijo de Pimpinella.
RB Mascarita Sucia. Oh, man. That Dynamite was fun. The only other drawback that I could think of, which is a gift and a curse, is that roster is fucking stacked. I wanted to see Cassidy. He didn't show up on Dynamite. He showed up later. I wanted to see Miro wrestle. He didn't show up at all. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see Jade Cargill do something. She did the backstage promo. Lucha Bros. They didn't wrestle on this show. Fucking Black. I wanted to see Black so bad. Nah, that's next week.
Yeah. Man, even CM Punk wasn't on the show.
This time last year, I could have caught Hangman. If it weren't for COVID, I would have been seeing Hangman and Omega as tag champs. This show, the most over guy on your roster, and he ain't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have all that fucking talent, and you're bringing in more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you. Are we going to jump maybe back to Rampage real quick?
Sure.
Because you bring up the roster, and I liked the fact that Rampage was on 1 hour. It felt refreshing, and it felt like I can do this. Because on paper, sitting here, whenever we talked about it before, AEW's getting a second show. What was my reaction? God damn, more fucking content, content.
Fourth show.
Oh, yeah, technically. Oh, God, fuck, I can't do this. But when I actually sat down and I watched the 1 hour of Rampage, it felt refreshing.
Did you watch it live, or did you use fast forward juice for the commercial?
I was like 30 minutes behind, so I wound up catching
45
up.
minutes is perfect.
Yeah. So it was, it was refreshing because it was enough of important AEW, because Elevation and Dark, not that important, right? But like, if they're going to treat Rampage the same way that they're treating Dynamite, and it's a must-see show, but if they still keep it at 1 hour, cool. And you're going to need that with the fucking stacked roster like you're talking about. If you don't see Miro on Impact, or excuse me, you don't see Miro on Dynamite, well, at least he'll be on Rampage.
Possibly.
Theoretically,
yeah.
But yeah.
Rampage was easy to digest. Solid matches from top to bottom. It kind of had what I was hoping it would have. AEW Dynamite is very top. It's and I don't want to say this negatively. It's a lot of quantity over quality, even though there's a lot of quality. For example, something happens, the match is over, then something happens afterwards, or the match is over, and you don't even have time to digest that because before they go to break, they go backstage to another promo. Or it feels like it's going like this.
Because they're trying to cram stuff in there.
And Rampage didn't.
Yeah.
You had your match with Omega and Christian. Then, for the most part, you had your squash match. You had Fuego del Sol die to Miro after he put up a nice 10 or 15 seconds of fluff.
Yeah.
But that was your squash. Then your feel-good segment afterwards. The nice little picture-in-picture, face-to-face promo of the girls before they came out with, and Mark Henry moderating before they came out for the main event. It was a solid 45 minutes. I liked it a lot. The only change I would make, I understand, and it's awesome that the women are main eventing the show. It's awesome that Britt Baker is in her hometown. After hindsight being 2020, I would have definitely opened with the girls. I would have ended with the title change. Maybe tease something else to get you till next Wednesday. Because
the way the hometown thing. That's probably why they did that.
The problem with that was the way the booking was laid out. When your face in any other city in the country comes out to a face reaction, but against Britt in her hometown, she's the heel. And then they bring in Jamie Hayter, who we're supposed to remember was a chick that got hurt a couple of years ago.
I didn't remember who either. She was.
She's supposed to be the heel because she's all in black, but she's getting cheered because she's helping out Britt Baker. But that was after the fact eventually, because when she first came out, you could have heard a fart in church. No reaction whatsoever. You end the show with the huge pop of fucking Christian.
Yeah.
After 7 years, winning the Impact title.
Yeah.
And starting that storyline, branching off into the other multiverse.
Okay, I'm with you on that now. You convinced me. Yeah. With that
the way that whole episode was booked, switch the first and the last match, and you would have got a better presentation.
Yeah. Switching gears again back to Dynamite. How'd you feel about Rosa versus Ford?
The match was okay.
Yeah.
Again, I missed half of it. It's a catch-22. Catch-22. Penelope is not on the level of Thunder Rosa.
Right.
But you want Penelope to rise up. So you need to have her with people like Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
So that she can get better. It feels like in the women's division, we're still going to get growing pains. Because again, I don't want to say this negatively. I like the girl. She's had some pretty memorable spots already. She damn near broke her neck. Red Velvet was not ready for the main event.
Okay. Ding.
But she's getting better than she was when she first debuted months ago.
Yeah.
Penelope Ford is getting better than she was when she first came out as being Kip's number 2 and not even wrestling.
I can agree with
She's
that.
still not Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, Nyla, Statlander level. But
Statlander might be a notch
below.
Yeah.
But she's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting a 5-star match from the women in your in your 4th segment of the show, you're asking a little bit too much.
Daniel says growing pains are one thing, but she made Rosa botch after botch after botch after botch.
The only, if anything, I'm reaching.
You know what they need? They need a developmental fucking like school where they call it like Next or something. You know, like just have people train and they can put on shows
in front of 20 people, 30 people.
Or
OVW.
Yeah, they partner up with some community college that does like film and stuff. You know, they'll call it like Sail Away College or something like that. That's what they should do.
The Pirate Bay.
The Pirate.
I'm reaching. When you do MMA and wrestling, sometimes you cross over. And there might be moments where Thunder Rosa has to think on her feet as an MMA fighter because whatever you planned as a pro wrestler, for whatever reason, isn't going as planned.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can come up from the top of my head.
Yeah.
Because there's times where Jake Hager wrestles, or there's times where Brock Lesnar's actually wrestling where I know that's pro wrestling. That looked ugly. Really ugly. And sometimes ugly is good. Ask Becky Lynch.
Ding?
As in you break Becky Lynch's face and she's
I didn't know what the fuck you meant. I was like, are you calling Seth ugly? Like, ask Becky Lynch why? Because she's fucks ugly dudes? Or are you saying Becky Lynch is ugly? No.
I mean, if
I think Seth is a handsome fella.
I think Beth can do. I think Becky can do better.
Okay. All right.
I'm standing. Right
I mean,
here. I'm sitting right here.
I mean, you've seen his dick, right? I mean,
we've all seen it.
We've all seen it.
We've all seen it.
Yeah.
Anything else from Dynamite you want to hit on or Rampage?
I had something in my head, but it went out of my head. I forgot what it was. Yes. Oh, no. I do. You were talking about MMA. Who the fuck was that dude that was like going off on this promo that was like an MMA guy? Now, that was my feelings. Who the fuck is this guy? Why should I care about him? This is a low point. I don't really give a shit. But he was so good at being a heel and just talking shit and riling people up that I was like, okay, now I'm interested. He really just had people like pissed.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck he was or why he was there.
He is a legit coach for American Top Team, is a team from MMA.
Yeah.
If you would have paid a little bit more attention back in the day, and I don't mean back in the day a long time ago, I mean like a couple of years ago, Bobby Lashley's awesome heel run in Impact was with American Top Team. And but Lashley wasn't the mouthpiece. He was the mouthpiece. So when he walked out with fucking Junior Dos Santos, and the Russian that Arnold knows his name, he'll probably say in the chat because I forget it from time to time. Yeah. And he was going full 80s Florida Eddie Graham heel. Oh, Jim Cornette and he's old school.
But where are we going with this? That's the part that I was like murky on. Like he came out to talk shit just to talk shit.
Because when they first went to Miami for Road Rager in front of the Humanoids for the first time, he came out and talked shit. Lance Archer came out and beat him up. So I'm assuming with a couple more episodes of Dynamite and a few episodes of Rampage, they might be building to like this ESPN type crossover where Lance Archer fights an MMA guy. Either MMA rules or pro wrestling rules.
I mean, maybe, but that's not what happened. Lance Archer got jumped by, what's her name?
Yeah, that's what happened this time.
Right.
But the first time Lance Archer put his hands on Old White Boy and showed him what was up because he was talking crap about the state of pro wrestling in 2021 and that locker room in particular. So it's probably going to be, or maybe a tag match, Lance Archer and a couple of guys against Men of the Year and an MMA fighter. Junior Dos Santos has teased that he's wanting to wrestle. Cain Velasquez was
Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Arnold picked him out of a lineup. Like he knew exactly who that was, and I thought it was the guy that has that BMF title that he created. I forget his name. But yeah, that's another highlight. Better promo than most of the guys back there. But Travis liked it.
Arnold says, I think Ricky Starks and LA Drake and LA Drake are having a competition over who could do the best impression of The Rock.
LA Knight?
Yeah, that's what he means.
Yeah,
but you know, Arnold, he,
You want to catch up on some news?
Sure.
First thought that popped in your mind when Matt Cardona won the heavyweight championship for Game Changer Wrestling.
Who the fuck is Matt Cardona? What the fuck is Game Changer Wrestling? Why do I care? Who's this jobber that won this no-name title? What? Why are people even talking about this? Yeah, that was my first thought.
That was your first thought?
And then they were like, oh, it's Zack Ryder. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Zack Ryder won a belt. What the fuck is Game Changer Wrestling? Who cares about this belt? You know? And then my third thought was, because after they told me, oh, that's this belt where he fought Nick Gage. And I was like, why the fuck is Zack Ryder fighting Nick Gage in a death match? That sounds terrible. And then my fourth thought was, after I saw some of the match, was, this is terrible.
The match itself was god awful. Again, Nick Gage doesn't sell. It's hardcore wrestling, not ECW. But damn, did they get attention from the outsider, the wrestler that's not known for anything hardcore, winning their basically their hardcore heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
And eating a pizza cutter from a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arnold said his first thought was staph infection. Daniel Price says, who? You know him.
What do you do with Bray Wyatt?
At this point, I think it would be too on the nose for him to debut in AEW and take over the Dark Order. I think it's too much obvious shit, you know?
Because we said the same thing about Matt Hardy. We said the same thing about Malachi Black. We said the same thing about, I think, somebody else.
Yeah. I want to see something completely different. I would like to see, and I'm going to do my best Hector impersonation here. I would like to see him drop the gimmicky shit, go to New Japan, and then just get known for fucking decimating fools, strong styling people, you know? Just like work on his badass moves in wrestling, and that's it. No gimmicks necessary, you know? We already saw him without the beard, and he just looks fucking weird.
That picture's fake.
Oh, it is fake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, cool. I didn't think it was fake. I was like, okay, well, he looks fucking weird. But, like, for him to show up as the Fiend anywhere other than WWE, it's going to make it seem like, oh, they're just, you know, using WWE's rejects or whatever, right? For him to take over the Dark Order, that's not going to work because the Dark Order is not his thing. For him to take over, what's the one with Black Taurus in Impact, the faction that they were talking about?
Oh, from CML. I forgot what it's called.
The whatever that faction is.
It's two guys, two girls.
Yeah, whatever that faction is in Impact. If he took over that, it's like too on the nose. You're trying to rebrand it. It's like Ultimate Warrior leaving WCW and leaving WF and going to WCW and being the Renegade. Like, I understand he wasn't the Renegade, but that would be what it is. He's leaving one promotion, going into the other, and picking up the ripoff of what he was supposed to be. So, no, completely reinvent yourself. Don't do the Mr. Rogers gimmick. Don't do the Fiend gimmick. Don't go back to Eater of Worlds. Just be like, I've lost everything. I'm going back to just kicking people's ass, and I'm going to go to Japan and just fight my ass off. And that's it. That's it.
I'm the complete opposite.
Okay.
I'm going to do my best Hector impression because there's certain moments in time that you know you have something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the last times New Japan had something was when Jushin Thunder Liger died and Kishin Liger was reborn. When he took the mask off and you saw the face paint. Japanese fans love I don't want to say the experience, but they like, they're starting to get a lot more into characters. You see the Great Okan doing his thing. The Liger thing with Jushin and Kishin, the two sides of the story. And again, I've said this more than once. The reactions of the audience when Bruiser Brody would swing the chain around, everybody ran for their lives.
Yeah.
A version of the Fiend would fuck with a lot of Japanese people, and they would love that character.
Okay.
There's enough talent on New Japan that is there just for the wrestling. You need to do something to stand out now.
Okay.
That's your hook.
Okay. Now Arnold has a good point. Let's see what you think about this one. He's got like 5 kids and a wife. He ain't going to New Japan. His only lucrative option is AEW or maybe Impact. Don't you get paid pretty good if you're in New Japan? Now the
pay is not the issue. It's the travel.
That's what I was gonna say. The move, travel. Like I don't think JoJo and the kids are gonna move out there.
And here's the other.
And he has 5 kids. I thought it was just like 2 or 3. Is it 5? Really?
I didn't think it was that many. Or at least not with JoJo. Here's the issue with New Japan.
I could draw a Liger. Shut up.
He could probably do a lot of the American shows, but number one, he's not getting the payday, and number two, there's no guarantee that him by himself is going to get the attention. Ask yourself if you're watching New Japan shows with the roster that's in Japan, or if you're watching New Japan shows with the roster that's currently in the United States. Not a lot of people are watching New Japan Strong on Fridays. Not a lot of tickets are being sold for the New Japan shows with the American roster that they have here in California. People are still going nuts over this shit that's going on in New Japan. Okay. I say that now with the possibility that you can build momentum. The New Japan show that happened over the weekend, Resurgence, Will Ospreay returned.
Yeah.
And he's carrying the New Japan World title. He never lost it. But why are they stripping Ospreay of the heavyweight title if Moxley had the belt for a year without ever showing up in Japan because of COVID? Mm-hmm. So Ospreay said that he is not wrestling in Japan. He's defending his world heavyweight title in the United States. Mm-hmm. So that's where, can you build on that and get more people to watch the American stuff? Or does it matter because you're going to be going through the forbidden door and you're going to end up on Impact and AEW anyway? Why does it matter if he signs with AEW or New Japan if he's going to end up on all the shows anyway? I mean, which leads to Arnold's complaint that there's too many fucking shows that everybody shows up on.
There's too many forbidden doors that are open. Hey, somebody close the goddamn door. You're letting the flies and the fiends in. Arnold says this.
That's the wrong band that you were just saying.
Whatever. Arnold says this. He had other kids with his ex-wife. He has child support. Ironically, with a dad named IRS.
I'm sure nobody else cares about his fucking kids.
JoJo says Ospreay versus Fiend.
Ospreay versus Bryan. No, Ospreay's been trying to challenge Punk to a match for a while.
Are you telling me that we got through all of our AEW talk without talking about CM Punk?
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, wrestling fans tend to bust their nuts early. I saw JoJo in the chat. The first thing he said, happy CM Punk Eve. What's up with NXT?
So NXT is coming up with a takeover for this weekend.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
Oh. Are you talking about all the firings?
All the backstage hoopla.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about it. I've lost track with who all is gone.
9 people. The only people that matter: Mercedes Martinez, Bronson
Sure.
Reed. Those are the highest level
Okay.
talent that were promoted
Okay.
on that show.
Not Adam Cole, baby.
Not yet.
Not yet.
His contract's supposed to be up after SummerSlam.
Now, I thought somebody was reporting that he did sign a contract before the main roster.
That's
unconfirmed.
That's unconfirmed. At least I haven't read it.
Okay.
Yeah. So apparently NXT or Vince has decided NXT is going to go back to how he wants developmental to be.
Okay.
Nobody under 6 feet, nobody over 30-something years old or whatnot. He wants to create stars from the ground up like OVW, that class of Cena, Benjamin, Lesnar, Batista, Orton. That. He wants that again.
Yeah.
USA doesn't want that.
Okay.
What do you do with NXT?
What would I do if I had the book? I would keep doing what they were doing before all these firings. Hire the fucking unappreciated indie talent that have fucking chips on their shoulder. I don't care if they're 7 feet tall, if they're vanilla midgets. I don't care. If they're good wrestlers and they have a following and people like them, and we need to give them a chance to shine and give them a little bit of creative freedom. Yeah, give them a little bit of creative freedom. Do it. And then work with that and just build good storylines with good wrestling at the same time. Now, I know that's very easy for me to say sitting here, armchair wrestling fan, but the way I viewed NXT is it broke. Why are you trying to fix it?
It feels like I'm going back in time when I say this. One of my favorite documentaries, Who Killed the Electric Car?
Okay.
If you can prove that you can make this car clean, what about your other cars? Why aren't your other cars clean? If NXT is getting all the popularity over SummerSlam, over Royal Rumble, if they're selling out more seats for a takeover in the same arena that you're selling tickets for your pay-per-view the next day for the main roster, then why isn't your main roster just as good as NXT? I don't want NXT to overshadow things anymore. So I need to knock it down to where I feel it's best and do things my way. Vince McMahon, my way, as opposed to Triple H competing with someone that shouldn't really be competition. They should just be doing their own thing. Instead, we were focusing on trying to out indie wrestle AEW, Ring of Honor. We poached most of Impact, so they weren't much of a competition. But in that level, in that vein, if you're not first at anything you do, it's unacceptable to him.
Yeah.
And so it didn't work.
Yeah.
Done. It's a shame. They got some kids. We'll talk about the finals of the breakout tournament.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how they're going to go with NXT now. With who wants to stick around, who's not going to stick around, what they're going to push, what they're not. 205 Live's only got like 2 people on their roster. I don't even know if that show's still going to go.
Yeah.
They let go people that were advertised to wrestle that night after the SmackDown tapings on 205 Live.
Wow. God damn. Well, I mean, when you wrestle, 6 days a week and, firing comes in the middle of the work week, well,
Did you hear the rap that got Max Caster in trouble?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Thought the kid was dumb. I can't say that I at any point got onto the Caster bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
I know that some people were like, "Oh, hey, he's rapping to the ring," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." I mean, gimmicks were done before. He's rapping. It's not like he's fucking being super creative or setting the world on fire or doing something that other people haven't done. And the beat itself, like the music on top of it, like it was very basic. So I'm like, whatever. And I felt like in this tag team of the Acclaimed, he was kind of overshadowing his tag partner. And like, okay, well, does the tag partner rap? No, he doesn't. He's just there.
He's a hype.
He wasn't even hype.
He wasn't
He wasn't even hype. So like, okay, I don't really like the whole concept. It didn't work for me. The whole thing. Toss them both, crumble both of them up, throw them in the fucking river.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I didn't care. Then when the infamous rap came, I was like, oh, no. I was like here.
What was the most
like,
egregious? There's 3 sections. What section was the most egregious?
I don't even remember all 3 of them.
So
one was Simone Biles.
One was comparing it to Simone Biles. The second one was treating them like Duke Lacrosse because of the Duke Lacrosse rape charges years ago. And they were in Charlotte, which was like an hour or 2 drive from Durham, Carolina, where Duke is.
I wouldn't have got that.
And then the third part was, hey, what's that smell in North Carolina? Oh, wait, it's Julia Hart's butt. And then they pull the microphone before she could say vagina, obviously.
Yeah.
In front of their audience, that was getting over. And they've tried to be catering to AEW's audience. There were some smatterings of "We Want Max" last night. His partner wrestled there. Not to be mean. If it's almost every tag team. If we're picking the HBK, we're picking the Jannetty. HBK was the one behind the mic rapping. Max was the one that got title shots. He was in that Vegas ladder match dealie for title shots. He was getting himself out there.
Yeah, okay.
Again, I don't have to agree with it.
I don't agree because honestly, I don't think that there was a Jannetty or an HBK in either one. I don't think so. They were both Techno Team 2000.
Got you. Okay.
There wasn't enough time in the oven to say this one's the Jannetty, this one's the Sean. I don't know. And to be honest, I think I'm not going to miss them. I would have not been in the audience saying we want Caster. I don't want Caster. I don't care about Caster.
You don't care about either of them.
Yeah. It's like I didn't care about either one of them. Then the rap happened, and now I care even less about Caster.
Gotcha.
The other one, I don't even remember the other one's name.
Anthony Bowens.
Okay, Bowens.
I learned it last night.
I don't even remember the fool's name. So I don't really give a shit about either one. If I never see either one of them again, cool. I'm definitely not chanting for them to come back. We want Bowens. We want Caster. We want Dick. No, I don't care. Don't care.
Got you.
Yeah.
One more.
Okay. Arnold says, no, it's not HBK. One's Skip and one is Zip.
Oh, fuck. Well, at least Skip had Sonny. What did you think of Keith Lee's explanation for his time away?
I never saw it. I think I had Arnold maybe at work explain it to me.
Yeah.
Basically he caught COVID, he almost died, and her name. What's her name? Kim? Not Kim. What the fuck is her name? It's right here. It's right. I can't.
Mia Yim.
Mia Yim. Yes. Kim. I'm racist. And that Mia Yim basically got him through it.
You're 1 letter off.
1 letter off.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. You basically got him through it. Cool. And then he was cleared. But when he was cleared, he came back and just jobbed. And I'm like, that's the part that kind of sucks. Right?
His hometown.
I'm like,
first match back.
I don't know if that booking decision would have been what I would have done if he thought that he wasn't ready to debut and win in his hometown, but you thought he was ready to debut and lose. Don't do it. Just have him sit on the shelf for a little bit longer if you think he's not ready. Right?
Isn't that a story you want to tell though? On top of that, like don't you want to build
came back and he's not ready and he's losing?
No. Instead of I wouldn't have even thrown him out there against fucking Karrion Kross. I would have had 4 weeks videos about how this guy almost died from COVID. Just throw it out there. This is the time that we're living in.
Yeah.
People are getting sick. People are dying. Hey, here's an example of a big motherfucker that fought COVID head on and he's came out the other end.
Yeah.
And that's something you want to isn't that a not so much a hero, but isn't that a character you want to cheer for?
No. This isn't Roman Reigns and leukemia. It's COVID. And WWE, as much as they're trying to like downplay, they don't want to bring attention to COVID because they're putting on super spreader events. They don't want to bring attention to the thing that could stop them from continuing to go on the road. Right? Mm-hmm. I get it. That's in WWE's best interest to not bring attention to COVID, much less to one of their wrestlers that could have just caught it on the road because they're touring, you know, while for all rights and purposes, they probably shouldn't be touring. AEW probably shouldn't be touring. You know, with this Delta variant and things are infection rates are higher now than what they were this time last year, but everybody has fucking fooled themselves into thinking that everything is better.
And now even vaccinated people are getting sick. Even if it's light, it shouldn't matter. You know?
Like, I mean, the pandemic that we have right now is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Unfortunately, the numbers of the unvaccinated and the people that are getting Delta outweigh what they were last year when nobody was vaccinated. Yeah. So, I mean, it's still like, okay, well, if you had the vaccine, let's go. But the numbers are still worse. The raw numbers are still worse than what they were last year. So, you know, So no, don't bring attention to COVID. This isn't Roman with the leukemia. It's not something that's genetic. This is something that's communicable, right? Mm-hmm. And you bringing attention to it while you're out there possibly infecting other people by taking their money and putting on shows.
And draw criticism.
Yeah.
Why are you putting this guy that just got it and almost died in danger by putting him back in the ring? Oh, fucking, let me guess, Arnold?
No, Daniel, super spreading like Sonny.
Fucking Daniel. I mean, if you can.
You got to make that money somehow.
It's been a couple of weeks. Give me some match of the week candidates.
Well, can we revisit Jungle Express versus the Bucks? Was I convinced, or have you tried to convince, or dissuade me that was probably the best match of the night?
No.
If it wasn't that, what is the best match of the night?
Of the night?
Of the night. Is it that match or is it the main?
I think it's MJF Jericho.
You think it's MJF Jericho?
As much of a dopamine rush I got watching Sting actually be Stinger.
That was really cool.
And Darby soaking it all in.
And Sammy versus Spears was really good too, especially when they both jumped up on the top rope and just like looked at each other like, oh, did we just both do that? And then finger and then nope, boom. That was a really cool little spot. That was a good match.
Not to rag on all of you listeners or watchers or people that that watch the wrestling stuff on TV, but a lot of y'all might have been sleeping on 2.0. Everrise?
Yeah.
There are clips on YouTube, there are clips on the internet of them being they're in a perfect place right now.
See, I care about them way more than I care about the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
And I don't care about them that much.
Yeah. But there's a lot of potential there with those two.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential there. I think the match of the night would be MJF Jericho.
MJF Jericho?
But there's a lot of shit.
See, I want to say the Jungle Express versus
But that was
Bucks.
just last night. We haven't been around for 3 weeks. So let me feed your brain a little bit.
Yes, please.
The murder of Cody Rhodes.
Cody versus Alistair?
Yeah.
Malachi.
Cody versus Malachi. That was a great story being told. It was a story that Malachi told from the beginning, and he was... That's a problem with pro wrestling right now, where heels are missing that conviction. Heels are missing that weight that makes them a threat. So when Malachi says he's going to do something, and he damn near killed Cody and did what he said he was going to do, and didn't even give Cody the opportunity to retire because he knocked his ass out again.
Yeah,
that's establishing your heel right there. So right now, Malachi might be one of the most protected heels they got right now because they're telling his story right.
And I want to disagree with you on that for being a match of the week or match of the 3 weeks or whatever. And the reason candidate. The reason why is because I don't remember that fucking match. What I remember is the long-winded ass retirement of young ass fucking Cody Rhodes.
Cody trying to stand up on a kid crutch.
Cody, this was not I'm sorry, I love you super kick.
Yeah.
This was not a long, drawn-out feud.
This
You
was more
haven't
like
even had that long of a career. You're young. You're in your prime. You're retiring now
one baby.
because Malachi Black gave you a black mass. Oh, pobrecito.
You know how many kids Arnold would have if it was up to him? Oh my God, Cody's gonna retire after one?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Anything that happened in that match was overshadowed by the ridiculousness of Cody's retirement speech. And I've been somebody that's been trying to defend Cody over the last year and a half. People have turned their backs on Cody and said that they don't like the shit that he's doing. I was okay with the, hey, we solved racism fucking promo. Like, I was like, okay, I see where you're going. You may have laid it on a little thick, but I'm still here with you. That promo, I was like, all right, you lost me. You finally lost me when I was trying to support you in the face of all the other marks that you've already lost. Now I'm like, I don't know.
Let me try again. Try again.
Yeah.
NXT television. Pete Dunne versus Ilya Dragunov. Did you watch that?
No.
Oh!
If I did, I wasn't paying enough attention to it.
The next week on Dynamite. How about Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose?
Hey. That was good.
Statlander pulled out the W, but that was probably the best either one of them have looked up to this point in the ring. Mm-hmm. We mentioned it. Omega versus Christian on Rampage. What'd you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. That was really good. And I think the part that was really good about it was, holy shit, the title change.
The only nit I have to pick on that match is continuity of a character's history. Omega's gone 2 hours and 40 minutes in fucking 4 matches against Kazuchika Okada. He's eating finishers left and right. He gives out 9 V triggers and 2 fucking one-winged angels. 1 finisher from Christian, and that's it? It was a bit anticlimactic for me because I'm used to seeing Kenny Omega level 9. You have to hit him with this much to beat him. And then Rampage, we got Kenny Omega level 6 on the video game that you only needed to do this much to beat him. Mm-hmm. It wasn't again, if that would have ended the match, you could have drawn it out and maybe have him kick out of a prettier, and then later on bring in the chair, and that's what takes out Omega. And that being the last match of the night, that would have probably been a whole lot better than the finish that I got. Yeah. Or at least the finish that I saw. Here's something out of left field. I saw a little bit of Triple Mania 29.
Oh, this is what JoJo was talking about.
My match of the night from that show.
Spit it out.
Deonna Purrazzo against Fabi Apache.
You swerved me.
When you're watching AAA CMLL in Mexico, that crowd is there to just do whatever the fuck they want to do. You hear air horns randomly. You hear people just screaming. Hell, if there's moments of silence, you can hear a goddamn conversation in Spanish. Mm-hmm. When Fabi Apache was out there, they were cheering in unison for Fabi Apache.
Okay.
You didn't have to go like this. You didn't have to do like this. I love Penta. He didn't have to go like this. The crowd wanted to cheer for her, and the crowd knew to boo the outsider.
I've never heard of her name before this.
That was my first match seeing her also.
Yeah.
So that was new to me too, but I was looking at everything going on, which asterisk on that. AEW didn't give me anything on the screen but AEW. Fucking Triple Mania were selling me motor oil. They were selling me a Mexican bank. They were selling me Fabuloso because every 30 seconds they had that hard camera shot like AEW where you see the 2 screens and the entrances in the background, and they were just flashing commercials up there like the brands. Like, oh, God damn it. All right. I'll get my Bandal or whatever that motor oil was. I'll get it. I got it. Let me see the women. Let me get a close-up of the action. Omega and fucking
Omega Andrade.
Idolo.
That's JoJo's pick.
He's wrong. I'll tell you why. And this goes back to Arnold's complaint.
Yeah.
They did a damn good job.
Okay.
Of Christian and Omega feuding for the AEW tag titles.
Okay.
Or AEW world title. Not a fucking sniff. Nothing. And Omega carries the belt on Dynamite. Not one reference For all the love New Japan's getting in the forbidden door, but us Mexicans, no, they're not going to try to put over AAA. Not one notice that, hey, by the way, this Saturday, August whatever, Omega and El Idolo for the AAA world title.
Mega Campeón.
Pop kiss. Nothing. If you weren't
Nada.
zip, the square root of Jack. If you're a fan that didn't know that match was happening in Triple Mania, you wouldn't have known it by television in the United States because nobody in America was advertising that match. We could spread all these other STDs, but we can't get fucking this one. They couldn't do that. And it wasn't even their main event of the night. So
it wasn't?
No, it was a mask versus mask match with Psycho Clown. I tried to watch it, but I fell asleep. But Fabio Pacho was good. Mm-hmm. And oh my fucking God, the triple threat tag match. Lucha Bros, Brian Cage, and Vikingo, Hijo de Vikingo. Holy fuck, that kid can go. I remember sitting down at in this fucking little place in Austin watching Sammy Guevara fall from like 25 feet in this place that he had no business fitting in and doing a moonsault. And from that moment, I wanted to watch more Sammy Guevara.
Okay.
That match, and I saw Vikingo, I was like, oh, fuck, this kid. Vikingo and Taurus were the team. And then it was Brian Cage and somebody else. That match fucking blew my mind. But overall, from that night, I'm picking the women.
JoJo says, okay, I see your point. Do I need to go back and rewatch all that?
It was great wrestling. It wasn't consequential because, some of it.
I have an interesting question.
Peraza won.
Okay.
So now she's collecting belts like Omega.
Yeah. I have an interesting question, though. This year, we've been saying that we're going to change up our match of the year structure.
AAA would fit in the indie section. So
it wouldn't be its own?
No.
They can't fit with other fucking, the Mexicans have to share?
It has to fit with the diet. We eat so much of this that we don't need to break it up.
You can't have more frijoles. No. The frijoles just goes with all the other sides, the green beans and the mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Okay. Why? Is there something that needs to be put on there?
Well, that's what I'm asking. If we had to pick a match of the year from AAA.
And remember, just because these slots are open doesn't mean we got to fill them all.
Okay. I'm asking. I'm asking. Is any one of those matches that good to say, you know what?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
I don't think so.
Now, I need to watch it?
But if you want to watch it, if you had a choice between 3 hours of Raw or, hey, I could fast forward through an hour of some good AAA matches.
Okay.
I would make the effort to watch some AAA.
Okay.
It was good.
Okay.
Last but not least.
with hummus.
Dragunov and Roderick Strong that happened last Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah.
That was fucking good too.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. My pick, it might be MJF and Jericho, but I never thought I would say this. Their current front runner for match of the year, I think is going to be hard to top.
What was the front runner?
What is the front runner?
Their
current candidate is Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker, the hardcore match that made both the girls.
Damn.
That main evented Dynamite live.
Okay.
That's the candidate right now representing AEW, and I don't think MJF and Jericho is better than that.
Okay.
Because if we take into consideration the story of how we got here, some of those labors were awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was more invested with the girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we're predicting the next week of wrestling. So there's a huge elephant in the room. We've talked about it for a while before the show went on the air. You told me I shouldn't talk about it, but fuck it, I never listened, so we're gonna talk about it now. Is CM Punk showing up on fucking Rampage or what? We've had this conversation back and forth since Punk left. Is Punk ever going to return to wrestling? And every time there's a smidge of a thought, Arnold creams his pants, and you break out the flag, and everybody stops drinking because Punk doesn't drink. And now with everything that's happening, it's almost too obvious. But is it 100% that CM Punk is going to debut at another AEW show in Chicago that sold out in 2 days, the biggest crowd AEW's ever had, with 3 other AEW shows happening in Chicago within 2 weeks. Is he showing up tomorrow?
I wish that there wasn't as much hype and as much clues and as much teasing and trolling as there has been the last week. The reason why is because I would have enjoyed being pleasantly surprised. But that's not the reality. I would have liked for us to not have a 5, 10, 15, 20-minute segment on this show where we're talking about whether he does or he don't show up at a very specific date. And it just happened. And instead of saying, oh, is it going to happen tomorrow? Us show up 2 or 3 weeks later. Holy fuck, I can't believe CM Punk is back. I would much rather have that conversation than the conversation we're about to have right now. The conversation we're about to have right now is this. If CM Punk does not show up.
That's what I want.
If CM Punk does not show up, 1, I'm not fucking surprised. 2, that is the biggest blunder and disappointment that AEW has had to date, including Sparklers for Blood and Guts, including Jericho falling on pillows off of the fucking steel cage, Blood and Guts, including Deathmatch, including everything. This will be the worst thing that happened for AEW to so heavily tease it. Have fucking Skater Boy say Darby, best in the world. Then have the little tweets. Then have Punk doing his little tweets.
Omega coming out with the Cookie Monster shirt. Last night he came out with a Chick Magnet shirt.
ESPN fucking reporting, oh, this is happening. Fucking football announcers.
CM Punk during MMA commentary for some Bush League, dropping all the heat hints.
At this point, that much fucking tease and this and that or whatever, if he doesn't show up, this is disastrous.
Okay.
Disastrous.
So for once, I'm going to give you what you want.
Robert, what's up, brother?
I got a question for Robert too.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you what you want because we're not going to spend the next 5 or 10 minutes talking about CM Punk. Because I'm going to dispute a claim you just made.
Okay.
This will not be the biggest blunder that AEW has done. I think they already did it.
What's the biggest one?
We've had this conversation.
Okay.
From the aspect of a woman's wrestler.
Okay.
But now we need to turn to the aspect of the male wrestler.
Okay.
If you're Adam Page and the story's being laid out 6 months, 9 months, 12 months in advance, that this September in All Out, you are going to culminate your storyline with Kenny Omega and finally become world champion. Mm-hmm. Would you or would you not have enough common sense to say, hey, you know what? Let me start wearing some fucking condoms. Or you know what? Let me get my wife on some fucking pills. The fact that that Hangman is missing All Out because his first child's being born.
Oh, is that what's happening? I didn't know.
Because his first son's being born.
Okay.
Fast forwarding this entire storyline that for at least 6 months, possibly longer than that, have been building to, oh, we're getting fucking Kenny Omega and Hangman Page main eventing All Out. And even knowing that the wife is pregnant 3 months ago, you couldn't pull the plug? You couldn't have given 3 months to at least get that out of our heads and do something else? 6 months ago. You couldn't have redirected Page's story completely with the Dark Order and do something else and stay completely away from the title picture so that we can have like a cool segment of the Dark Order throwing him a fucking baby shower backstage. Congratulations, this is a happy moment. When you come back, you're going to do it for the family, not just for you. But no, you're going to string the whole thing. You know, the moment that I was validated, in my opinion, was when the episode of Dynamite where Christian was announced that he was going to face Omega at All Out for the AEW title. The lack of reaction from the live audience, because everyone's been led to believe that the most over guy on your AEW roster and the time to strike when the iron is going to be its hottest, and you pull the rug right from under the fans.
I disagree. I don't. I don't think.
Let me finish my rebuttal.
Okay.
Ask Samoa Joe what it's like to win the Impact title when the iron was cool. Ask Dean Ambrose what it was like to win the WWE title when his iron was cool. This in the long run, this is going to do more damage than the one guy that's never wrestled and that might come back is not going to show up on the one night that everyone and their fucking mother expects them to show up. No, the bigger damage is going to be Hangman.
No, I totally 100% disagree on this one. And the reason why is because we've been talking about what would have been their biggest blunder in the past if you compare it to what happens tomorrow if
it doesn't
show up, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think delaying Hangman versus Omega to maybe a different pay-per-view another 3-4 months.
Well,
I don't think so.
Will it matter after the belt collector has no belts to collect other than the AEW?
If it's his last one, that might be a good enough story because he still has the AAA one, right? He could win and lose the NWA one between now and then. He could win and lose the ROH one between now and then. But if his last fucking gold that he has is the AEW one, his homegrown one, and it's not here at All Out, wait till Double or Nothing or wait till whatever the next one is, right? That's fine. This isn't a blunder. It's maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity. Yeah, the iron will still be cooled, but there's still time to keep that iron in the fire or rewarm it back up or whatever. I don't think it's going to be completely out of the fire, dunked in the water, and that's it. There's time. So I don't think that's the biggest blunder AEW has done. The biggest blunder AEW has done has been the death match with sparklers. It really has. It really has, right? Because you could fix booking and scheduling and this and that, especially when it comes around what Arnold said in the live chat, which is wrestling is wrestling, but humans are real, right? Yeah, humans are going to have their human stuff. I get that. I agree with Arnold on that. But this is going to have more far-reaching effects than even the embarrassment of the death match with sparklers, because people were making fun of the death match with sparklers. People were pointing at it, showing, wow, how disappointing was this? This is something that happened, not something that didn't happen that you could book later on down the line. This is something that you booked, and it was terrible. The way that this Punk stuff is going, it has way more fervor in it than this death match or that Blood and Guts had. There are so many people so excited about this that if it doesn't happen, it's not like, push it back to another pay-per-view where you can push back Omega and Hangman. This is, if this doesn't happen tonight, if this doesn't happen tomorrow, this is going to be more disappointing. There's going to be more people talking shit, more people looking down at it, more people saying, see, AEW sucks. And it's going to be a bigger black eye than Blood and Guts, than the death match.
Here's the difference.
Okay.
The Hangman stuff, the Hangman Page stuff is being controlled internally. Hangman could still be there by webcam or do something and watch the child being born, but still be able to main event All Out. Their road schedule, they work 7 days out of a month. Does he really need the time off? I say that for this. That is a situation that could have been prevented internally with booking. This situation with CM Punk, it's not in the booking's hands. It's in our hands. Because wrestling fans can be fickle as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, if CM Punk doesn't show up and win the fucking title. Oh, if CM Punk doesn't do this. Oh, if he doesn't say that. Or if he doesn't come out to Cult of Personality. Or if he's wearing MMA gear. Or if he doesn't speak. Or if he comes out just as they turn off the show. Or whatever. It's going to be the fans' fault for building this mythos of what they expect to see on television themselves. Not that the company told them to for the last 6 months. Oh, AEW, we're going to give you Omega versus Hangman because this is a story we've been telling you for 6 months. If that's a mistake that we did, that's our fault as AEW. If you're crying because you didn't get as much CM Punk as you wanted on the one day, that's not AEW's fault, motherfucker. That's your fucking fault.
I would normally agree with you because you've had this type of take before where it's wrestling fans basically created their own narrative within the community. You've had this take before, and I've agreed with it before, but not
the difference
this time.
So if they
and here's why. Here's the difference. The difference is Darby Allin looked at the camera, said, "In Chicago, blah blah blah, I'm gonna fuck the best in the world."
Yeah, Shane McMahon.
Oh, well, if it's not Shane McMahon, I'm really disappointed that he doesn't show up. But then it's MJF, it's CM Punk himself, it's all these other players. Yeah, it might not be Tony Khan or Tony Schiavone saying, "Hey, CM Punk showing up next week," but there was enough in there where they could have controlled the narrative. If somebody in WWE says, "Hey, don't tweet that," then it gets deleted. Or before it even gets to the Twitter machine, it doesn't even get tweeted in the first place. All this shit's been deleted. All that shit's there. They're not controlling it. Because they're not controlling it, they're allowing it to be out there and they're allowing it to marinate. AEW and Tony Khan is allowing this narrative to go out there, knowing what the fuck we're thinking, and that's how he's selling his tickets to Chicago.
Those tickets to Chicago were already sold, brother.
Well,
all of them.
Well, okay. So if you don't want to talk about the tickets, you're talking about the eyeballs that are going to tune in tomorrow on the telly.
So here's my rebuttal to that. You want a surprise? Punk should have came out last night. So that everyone knows, guaranteed, I'm tuning in at 9:00 on Friday night because Punk exists in that universe. He's already there. I was not expecting the surprise. But fans are going to be so disappointed if even a smidge of whatever their idea is didn't work. If Punk shows up as a promo package at the end of the show, fans are going to shit on it. If Punk shows up and doesn't speak, fans are going to shit on it. If CM Punk comes out to a different song, fans are going to shit on it. And that's not AEW's fault. That's the fans' fault because they expect too fucking much.
No. If this was Malachi Black, Aleister Black, if this was Miro, if this was fucking Adam Cole, if this was anybody else other than CM Punk, if that debut is bungled and they did it wrong because they didn't let him talk, or it was just a video package, or it was this and that, whatever, people are going to be like, "Oh, that's stupid. They debuted him the wrong way, this and that." But this is CM Punk. We have been waiting 10 years for this. If all we see, no, let me finish. If all we see is on the fucking Titantron, his little fucking Pepsi tattoo, and that's it, there's going to be plenty of marks that are going to cream their pants and be like, "Oh my God, it is true. He is
We'll hold you to that.
We'll
hold you to that. We'll see the reaction and we'll come back and talk about it.
Yes.
But that leads again, you validated my point. You said fans have been waiting.
Yes.
That's the problem. Didn't we have this conversation
years ago? Yes.
I've made my peace.
I've made my peace
Punk
too.
Never wrestles again.
If
he doesn't show up on Friday,
yes,
it's cool.
But
I'm cool.
But
and I'm gonna love watching the world burn.
But Nalguitas. At the very end of that conversation that we had 2-3 years ago, however long it was, when we made our peace and said, "You know what, CM Punk's never going to come back." The little side thing that we said, "Yeah, but if he does show up, we're going to lose our shit." And the possibility of him showing up is making people lose their shit. This is why I don't want to have this conversation, because I don't want to be that guy where it's like, oh, I'm going to really get hyped up. I'm really going to get hyped up. I'm really going to get hyped up and then disappointed because 2-3 years ago, I made my peace. I made my peace with myself. I made my peace with you saying we're never going to see him again. Now
Let's not speak of him
now
again.
You're making me, you're forcing me to have this conversation, to feel these feelings that I said 2-3 years ago I don't want to feel. And now you're making me do it. Why? Because you're putting it in our face so much.
That's why I don't want it to happen.
Okay.
Because
so even if he does show up, you're not going to be happy. If he shows up, he kicks fucking Kenny Omega's ass. Impromptu match. He wins the fucking world title off of Kenny Omega. You'll be upset.
Yeah.
And he does Pipe Bomb 2.0.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why? Because we've been watching wrestling for so long, man.
Yes. Okay.
It's so easy to just come in and bask in the return. Punk's had so many opportunities, so many offers. If he's the kind of person that he projects himself to be, he wants a challenge. It's easy to come and get cheered. I want these motherfuckers to boo me. I'm not CM Punk. I'm not coming in here as CM Punk. I'm coming in as Phillip Brooks, MMA attire. I come on my time. And you know why I didn't show up at that one show that everyone bought a ticket for in 48 hours? Because I loathe you. There's a reason why I didn't come back for 7 years. And it isn't because I got fired on my wedding day. It's because people like you that ruined the business for people like me. Darby versus Punk. Face versus face. Who's gonna get the loudest face reaction?
I don't know, man.
Punk.
Okay.
But do you want that? Do you want your homegrown guy that's been putting in the work to get out cheered by the guy that just showed up after sitting on his ass for 7 years from pro wrestling? No, you want Punk to get fucking booed. You want Darby Allin to be cheered to the moon. So this is how you make Punk heel, by letting down every single mark that had the expectation that he was going to come out in the opening of the show to Cult of Personality and give us a 30-minute pipe bomb sucking all our dicks because he's back in our program, in our favorite federation. No, I want him to heel on us. I want him to piss on the crowd and pull out his dick like Pillman did on ECW. I want him to fucking go nuts. I want to piss everybody off, me included.
Punk can literally kill somebody in the ring and not get booed. That's what Arnold says in the live chat, and I agree.
I shared a picture on Twitter. WWE can bring back Jesus Christ, and he won't be as over as Punk tomorrow.
Yes. And everything that you just said would be brilliant. But I'll still be happy that he's back. Yeah. Because why? I miss him, but I can also appreciate a good heel and boo a good heel when they're being good at being a heel.
Roman, you
took the words out of my mouth, you bastard. Because Roman, I'm finally happy with Roman. Why? Because I can hate him and not feel bad about hating him. And if CM Punk comes and does all this, I'm going to hate him, and I'm going to love the fact that I can hate him. I'm going to love it. So yes, if he's back and he does what you just said and he successfully gets himself over as a heel, doing the shit that you just said, I'm happy. I'm happy.
John Moxley against Daniel Garcia.
Who? What the fuck are we talking about?
Give me a number. This is happening on Rampage tomorrow.
On Rampage?
Yes.
The CM Punk show?
Yes. The first
-3. I'm going to Travis territory.
Who's winning?
Who?
Private Party against Jurassic Express.
Okay, I'll give that a 4.
Who's winning?
Jurassic Express.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eliminator tourney. If they win 2 matches, they get to meet the Young Bucks in a steel cage at All Out.
Okay, who?
So it's either going to be Jurassic Express, Private Party, Lucha Bros, or some other heel team. I fucking forget.
Hey, I don't care.
Kiera Hogan against Jade Cargill.
Oh. 5. All that 5 is for Kiera Hogan.
6, mostly for Kiera.
Yeah.
But I'm loving me some Jade Cargill. Her presentation so far with the backstage promos have been what they supposed to be.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah.
And of course, I got Cargill winning.
Yeah, Cargill's gonna win.
SummerSlam, Saturday, Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is that it for Rampage? That's all we got on Rampage?
1 hour.
Okay.
3 matches.
3 matches.
And CM Punk.
That's plenty of time for Punk to do something. Yeah. Okay, cool.
SummerSlam.
Color me impressed with Daniel. Robert said, dude had a really good match last night. Color me impressed with Daniel. Who is this kid?
So
who are we talking about?
So Everrise 2.0.
Oh, okay.
They've been coming out with this. Him and Darby had some great chemistry. I'm hoping I can see that on a fucking Dynamite episode soon, if not a pay-per-view, because the stuff that they were doing together were fucking good.
Yeah.
It's almost gotten a couple more outings from him, and I might watch some New Japan because he's part of that NJPW Strong American group show. Yeah. Mask required for entry. How long do you think that's going to last? Do you think that's going to be effective at all?
Match required for entry?
Mask.
Yeah. I mean, it'll last as long as it takes security to stop paying attention.
So
Not that long. They'll probably check people at the door. After they come in the door, they go to their concession stand, they sit down, they start eating their nachos, they don't put their mask back on.
No, it's not just that. Security will be like, hey, you're supposed to either be eating or drinking, and they'll just have their beer like this. They'll show that they have a beer in their hand. Yeah. And that's enough for them not to fucking enforce it. Yeah, it's not gonna last.
Yeah. Where is this again?
Vegas.
Vegas?
Elite home of the Raiders.
No. It's not.
No.
It's not gonna stick. If it's in Vegas, no. They could pull that shit off in Okinawa. Because the Japanese people have respect.
Hi.
People in Vegas are on vacation and are drunk, and they're Americans and they're annoying.
And they're there for boxing. Why are they putting a fucking wrestling show the night of boxing?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna last.
Drew McIntyre against Jinder Mahal.
I want to say that this would be at like an 8 or a 9, but unfortunately, I'm at a 5.
Is that maybe pure nostalgia? 3MB?
A little bit of it is that. I want it to be a little bit of that, but I also want this story to matter a little bit more and for the story to be a little bit more elevated. When they brought out that bike that obviously was there because it was going to get destroyed, and then later after it got destroyed, we saw, hey, new from Mattel, Drew McIntyre with a bike. And I was like, wait a second, that bike is supposed to be Jinder's, not Drew's. Drew beat it up. So you even did the fucking toy tie-in wrong. So if you're going to fuck up the toy tie-in, why even have the toy tie-in? And it's just a toy tie-in. Ugh, this feud could be so much more than Angela and the bike.
Well, the ambulance toy was pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, but still, it could be so much more. There could be so much more history there. And they could be playing up even more of former WWE champion. Yeah, we all know that Jinder's reign was but
it happened.
It happened. He is former WWE champion.
We like it.
Yes. Yeah. So instead of showing Jinder as a bumbling idiot hiding behind Veer and Shanky, who are 2 greenhorns. Yeah, they're big and tall.
Not to mention they fired the other guy. There was supposed to be a tag team. There's a tag team in Sheer from NXT.
Oh, I didn't know that.
One of those guys is Shanky or the other guy, and then the partner, they cut him.
Oh, okay.
So
well, I mean, but they're still greenhorns, right? And Jinder's hiding behind the greenhorns. Like, yeah, they're big, but like Jinder should be more of a Randy Orton with Cody and Ted DiBiase
legacy.
Yeah, where Randy's leading them, not hiding behind them.
Not just leading them, growing them.
Yes.
That's what's missing right now. There's a lot of factions. There's a lot of people leading. There's not enough people growing.
Yeah.
They lost me from what I heard, because I haven't been watching a lot of Raw, that there was a match where if Drew won, the cronies would be there for Jinder ringside. And if Drew won, he could show up ringside with his fucking sword. That lost me. I'm at a fucking 2. I'm at a 2, and I don't. The sword. Jinder.
The sword is a nice prop to have in the entryway and to have on your fucking AR, but to like start involving a sword into storyline like it's Triple H's sledgehammer.
Yeah.
No, like even with the sledgehammer, that was a little much. Every time Triple H hit someone with the sledgehammer, he had his hand around the ball of the hammer and he was hitting somebody like that. But that always took away a bit from the illusion because you think, oh, he's going to hit him with a sledgehammer. It's punk.
And then people started kicking out.
Yeah, and he's not doing that. He's hitting them like this where he's holding it. How do you hit somebody with a sword? You can't hit somebody with a sword. So he's never going to hit anybody with a sword. It's the same problem that you have with intergender matches in WWE. The intergender matches suck because, the dude is never going to get not one finger on the girl. He's never going to hit her. He's never going to body slam her. He's never going to suplex her. So anytime that there's an intergender match or a mixed tag match, it's like, well, the guy's going to get his ass whooped and get a roll up, and that's it. So, yeah. If you have a sword as your weapon, nobody's ever going to get their limbs chopped off. So what's the point of having a sword?
I'm at a 2. I got Jinder winning.
Okay, cool.
Older Edge versus younger Edge. Give me a number.
4.
4 sounds right. I will always be under the impression that Edge flip-flopped from heel and face between his return at the Royal Rumble, his triple threat at WrestleMania, and now this match with Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins' ideals make no sense.
Yeah.
If he can't be the champion, then Edge can't be the champion, but
Edge isn't the champion.
Roman's the one with the fucking belt. Go get Roman.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
4. I have Rollins winning.
Yeah, on paper, it sounds like a really good match, but the build just doesn't make sense.
This is another situation like Chris Jericho where Edge is there to put over some young people now.
Arnold said Edge was never a heel. His rage was justified, and he's at an 8.
Of course.
What do you mean, of course? Of course what?
It's Edge and Seth Rollins. He's got, their dick in each hand, one and the other.
No,
it's Arnold. Arnold slips up.
He just has Seth's dick in his hand. He doesn't have Edge's dick in his hand.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I got Rollins winning. Edge is there to start putting over younger talent now at this point.
Yeah, Rollins will win.
Again, Usos and the Mysterio SmackDown tag title. I'm at a 0.
2.
Usos.
Usos. I mean, I think the only reason why there's even 2 on there is because I'm still wanting to see development from Dominic. But seeing this match again, I don't care.
Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the U.S. title.
7.
So far, I'm agreeing with you. This one too.
Oh
7.
yeah.
7.
I think it's because Damian might finally get a little bit of reward for doing a good job with all the promotional stuff with Bad Bunny, and what was the other one? Like he was doing, was it Sonic commercials?
Yeah,
or something. He's been the promo guy for a while, and I think they're like, okay, you've done a good job. Here, have a title reign, have a win. 7 and Priest goes over. That's
their styles are gonna go well together. In the sense that.
Hold on, time out. Arnold has a hot take about the Usos and Mysterio match. Dominic electric chairs his dad. What? Dominic stabs Ray in the back? That would instantly get me to put down my phone and go, wait, what the fuck happened? And watch the TV. If that happens, yes. Okay,
Ray is
cool.
the babyface against his own son. That'll get my attention.
The greenhorn with the chip on his shoulder that thinks he could beat up his dad and he can't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm bigger than you. And you know it.
Oh, Eddie really is my dad.
Oh, my heart's a flutter. Da-thump.
Eddie was more of a dad to me than you ever were.
If it weren't for you, I'd be in AEW with Mom.
Oh! If it weren't for you, Buddy Murphy would be with my sister still. And he'd have a job.
7, Sheamus and Priest. This is going to be stiff.
Okay.
And I've got Priest going over.
I got Priest going over. I want Priest to go over. Sheamus needs some time to heal his face too. There's only so much you can do.
I thought that was like the Vader style now, where he can take that off when he wrestles, and that's just part of like kind of like a scare tactic. He looks boss with it on.
I mean, he does, but I mean, at some point, the human element has to come into it. Like, he should take a couple of weeks off.
Triple threat: Nikki ASH, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Raw Women's Championship. Save me.
I'm at an 8.
What?
I'm at an 8.
Defend yourself.
Okay.
Look at them.
Don't look at you.
While I read this chat.
You don't want me to look at you? I'm at an 8. I love Rhea. I've always loved Rhea. Charlotte, I've had an on again, off again.
Fuck, Arnold's at a 1.
He's at a 1. Okay. I've had
For which one?
For this match.
Yeah, which of the girls? The 1 point is for one
who's
of
the one?
Yeah.
Charlotte, I've been digging lately. I know that there may be a little bit of Charlotte fatigue, and that's for Nikki's outer thong.
You must be confusing her with Asuka.
I know that there's a lot of people that have Charlotte fatigue, but I think Charlotte over the last couple of months has reinvented herself enough to where if you don't have the keen eye to look at the subtleness of how she's being reinventing, then you're going to miss it, which I don't blame you if you miss it. And I don't blame you if you still have Charlotte fatigue, but I have enough there to where there's hope for me to be like, there's something else there where she's metamorphosizing somehow. And then with Nikki, I want to say that I absolutely hated the almost a superhero gimmick, but she's so goddamn adorable. I can't hate her because she's too adorable. And if I, for the longest time, loved Hurricane Helms
and Mighty Molly
and Superhero in Training
and EY,
I don't think I can, in good conscience, hate it either, especially with this one key difference. The key difference is that Mighty Molly, Super Eric, fucking Hurricane Helms, they all thought they were fucking superheroes. Nikki is making it a point of saying that I put on this costume to give myself the confidence so that I could realize in my own head that I can also be almost a superhero. They're not fucking psychos like Hurricane Helms who think they actually are superheroes.
Man, what you talking about?
So it's like, all right, I get it. It is your own costume. You're doing it for yourself and it makes you feel good. I can't get mad at that for saying, oh, the absurdity. No, I was cheering for the Fiend. That's absurdity. Yeah. So it's like, all right, cool. She's honest about it. Kayfabe wise, she's honest about what it is and what she's doing to herself and putting on the costume, and she's being adorable and encouraging about it. And that's what I like. So I like all three. I'm not at a 10. I'm at an 8.
I'm at a 7, mostly because of Charlotte fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
But to extend your opinion, I like the story that's being told through the eyes of Nikki. If you focus it too much on Charlotte, you're going to get the one that Arnold's asking for in the chat. If you're focusing too much on the Rhea Ripley, on why she isn't the dominant woman, why isn't she wearing the title, why isn't she mopping the floor with this little midget like Nikki, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you're the main character in this storyline is Nikki. So if you see it through Nikki's eyes, the story's being told wonderfully. So I'm at about a 7.
Okay. Who do you got winning? Nikki?
This is the story where Nikki overcomes.
It's Nikki. Nikki's winning.
Nikki's winning it.
Yeah. Robert Miller says, I'd rather see crazy Nikki come back and join Alexa. Okay. You know what? If that happens, maybe not tomorrow or this weekend, maybe a little bit further down the line, I could see that. That could work. I don't think I want to see it right now because it's too drastic of a character change too fast. You went from like hype Nikki Cross to almost a superhero Nikki and then go to Alexa's Playhouse, just bam, bam, bam. I think that'd be too quick. Yeah. I like the idea. It's just the timing's not right.
So over the weekend, there was a title match pulled at both house shows, and it was this one. Do you think we're gonna get Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair at SummerSlam?
So house shows are kind of weird, especially right now in COVID.
The match was it was announced during the house shows that they were not competing tonight for unforeseen circumstances.
Right.
That's the explanation that they gave to the audience for both in those super shows.
And live events are a little weird, especially during COVID. I don't know what those unforeseen circumstances are. I mean, conclusion, one of them has COVID or something or whatever, but you can't always jump to the top shelf conclusion. Yeah. Something the worst has possibly happened, right? You can't jump to that. At this point, I'm not going to jump to the conclusion. I'm just going to say, well, this.
You could blame Benoit for that.
True. This match is still advertised. There hasn't been any scuttlebutt about them getting pulled from the main fucking pay-per-view of the summer. Pulling something from a live event, okay, that can happen. Pulling something from SummerSlam,
so you're more inclined to wait to see if they show up on SmackDown tomorrow. If they don't show up on SmackDown tomorrow, there's something fishy.
No, if they say on SmackDown tomorrow, hey, this match is happening at SummerSlam, even if I don't see them on SmackDown, I'm like, okay, it's happening at SummerSlam.
Okay.
All right. So whether or not they're there, what I'm waiting to see is, are they advertising it? If they don't advertise it, if they don't say anything about that match at all on SmackDown, then I'm going to be like, ooh, maybe this match isn't happening. But if they show, hey, the biggest party of the summer, so-and-so versus so-and-so, so-and-so versus so-and-so, Sasha versus Bianca, the main event, this and that. Cool. I can say, all right, well, whatever's going on is going on, and they're going to wrestle. That being said, my anticipation level, if this match happens, 8. I love Sasha. I love Bianca. I love their feud. I want to see what they can do again in the ring, and it's going to be a fun match. Sasha, I got Bianca retaining.
Do you think this will live up to our match of the year candidate from WWE? Their first match at WrestleMania, main eventing for the women's title, or is that too much to ask? We talked about fans' expectations for CM Punk. Is it too much to expect them to duplicate what they did at WrestleMania?
Expect? No. To anticipate? Yes. I would like for that to happen. Where is this 2? Yeah. Sasha Bianca 2? Yeah, Sasha Bianca 2 to be better than Sasha Bianca 1. I would like for that to happen. I can't expect it to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm at an 8. If the match winds up coming out a 10, cool. The reality surpassed my expectation or my anticipation. So yeah, Arnold says he's at a 9. Sasha finally wins the big one. Ooh,
I'm at a 9 also.
A 9, okay.
If it happens, it's not going to be the same circumstance because. I don't want to say that it was a once-in-a-lifetime moment, but the moment they had is extremely rare. Main eventing a WrestleMania for the women's title.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a hard rush to top.
Yeah.
So this almost reminds me of what could be Sasha Bailey. We're gonna keep having this argument to our graves. Takeover was better. No, respect. Brooklyn was better. No, respect was better. No, Brooklyn was better. We could have 2 different matches.
Brooklyn was
that
better.
are the respect was better. Izzy cried.
Fuck Izzy.
Not till she's 18.
Oh my god.
So we could have 2 different matches, but for 2 different reasons, they're just as good or comparable to each other.
Like, and this is a totally different scale, but Omega Okada, 1, 2, and 3, they were all fucking superb.
And then
reasons.
came 4.
Yeah, they were all superb for different reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
4 was the one that topped them all because it kind of mixed in all 3 of the first ones.
Yeah, and Omega finally beat him.
Yeah.
So
Arnold says Brooklyn was better.
I've got Sasha winning.
Oh, okay.
And give me something
Something to set up 3?
I don't want to say hardcore, but something to really make number 3 stand out.
Okay.
We have some theme pay-per-views coming up. Maybe throw them in the side of Hell in a Cell and have the main event Hell in a Cell.
Submission match.
Or TLC?
No, submission match.
Bianca doesn't have a submission.
Exactly.
Oh, snap. So Bianca passes out.
You know what she has?
Hair.
She has that hair. Figure out a way to just wrap it around and you know? She can do something with the hair.
I got Sasha winning. I'm at a 9.
Okay, cool. Robert says I'd predict Sasha winning, but I think Mandalorian season 3 is about to start filming.
Bobby Lashley.
Goldberg.
World title.
6. And I think that's a generous 6.
4.
Oh, okay.
They involved the kid. Ugh.
The kid that looked like he didn't really belong there.
Yeah.
He looked like he was scared. He looked like he didn't know what to do. He looked like, why am I getting involved? When it was supposed to be.
I don't want to talk about this at school. I don't like wrestling. Just give me money.
Yeah, I'm here with my football friends, Dad.
Yeah.
You know, but what was the point of involving him in the storyline? Like, I understand involving Dominic, right? Even at that early of a young age, right? When he was being, fought over by Eddie and Ray. This didn't have any bearing on the actual storyline. It was more like, hey, I'm Goldberg. I'm a dad. Look at my kid. That had nothing to do with him versus Bobby.
Yeah.
Right? Him versus Bobby, that was enough. Him and Bobby, title. Bobby has been dominant. And
Goldberg answered the open challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's all the story. But I am at a generous 6, and the reason why I'm at a generous 6 is mostly because of Lashley. If Lashley were to actually beat Goldberg, I think that'd be pretty cool, and it helps solidify his reign and solidify the legitimacy of him being a badass who's not in Roman's shadow.
Yeah, that's a good point. I see him just because Roman's doing such a good job as his heel character now. I don't see Lashley as a second to Roman. I see them as 2 separate, completely different things.
Or at least they should be.
Yeah.
I think Roman is here and Lashley's like right here. And we need to balance it just a little bit. It needs to get balanced. Mm-hmm. And a win over Goldberg, when Goldberg's beat everybody else, anytime Goldberg comes back, whoop, he's got the title,
God damn.
What?
The theme of the night. Robert Medlin, I want Goldberg's kid to turn on him and join the new Hurt business. Yeah, I'm guessing they're not playing the race card anymore. They had Corbin for a minute.
Yeah. Goldberg wins, Big E cashes in. Unless Corbin still has the briefcase? No, Big E has the briefcase. Why would Corbin have briefcase?
I don't know what's going on with that Corbin stuff. I missed the last couple episodes of SmackDown.
Did Big E lose the briefcase to Corbin?
Corbin stole it. Because
Corbin stole the briefcase?
I think Corbin stole the briefcase because Corbin tried stealing Finn's title shot and Cena wound up taking it.
Uh-huh.
Remember the segment
with
Roman? Awesome segment. Oh, man. Detour.
Okay.
Another thing I like about Roman's heel character. Roman sat at the head of the table and he's like, Finn, I can't understand not so much that Cena is dodging me, but how he's disrespecting you. He doesn't think you're a threat. I'm sitting here right now and telling you, you're a big fucking deal. You deserve this chance to fight with the head of the table. You deserve a piece of this title. It blew my fucking mind because WWE television is not used to a heel game recognizing game from the heel side.
Yeah.
I was gonna shit on it because as soon as Roman sat at the head of the table, Finn was like, all right, I guess I'm going to sit down with him and prove his point that he's the head of the table, that I'm sitting there. He could have just walked up, signed the contract, and said, fuck you, table. Fuck your couch. Fuck all this shit. I'm done.
Yeah.
So I was about to lose my shit. So when Roman's turned that around and used the contract signing, not just to put Cena down, but to kind of, in like a backhanded way, lift Finn up.
Yeah.
Gold.
And, I mean, he kind of had a point where Cena was kind of disrespecting Finn.
Yeah. And ultimately stole Finn's shot.
He ultimately
stole Finn's shot. I want to see Cena versus Finn now.
I mean, you got to, acknowledge your tribal chief.
Okay, detour's over. I'm at a 4. It's mostly almost like Goldberg's bringing it down, bringing Lashley down a bit because, and I'm trying not to sound biased here, but I'm trying to think what Goldberg's last couple of matches, has he done anything to better the wrestler that he wrestled against?
No.
Did he
Goldberg has always been just a ratings grab for WWE.
Did he better Ziggler?
No.
Did he better Strowman?
No. If anything,
did he better Undertaker?
No.
You think he's gonna better Lashley?
No. I think the only way that somebody will get better when they're in the ring with Goldberg is if they just win. And it doesn't have anything to do with Goldberg. And again, I think I've said this before about Goldberg on this show. Goldberg is a great person. I respect him as a man, as a person.
I'm jealous he has an easy gimmick.
Yeah, his gimmick is he wins.
Yeah.
And that's it.
30 seconds, spear, jackhammer. I'm in.
That's it.
Cool. Awesome.
And
I wish I could have.
What I also respect about him, a lot of people shit on Goldberg because they think Goldberg was the one that booked himself for all this. No. WCW booked Goldberg. Goldberg isn't a product of Goldberg politicking. Yeah. Goldberg is a product of Eric Bischoff and everyone else in WCW saying, yeah, he's a big looking guy. He's got the look. Let's just fucking push him to the moon. Yeah. Right? Goldberg has said himself, it's like, I don't know anything about the wrestling business. They just stuck me in here. They pushed me to the moon and
here I am.
I just did what I did. Cool. I enjoyed the ride. It was awesome. If for whatever reason somebody thought flabby old me was worth getting pushed to the moon, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to do what I'm told. And it's like, okay. So I'm okay with Goldberg, the guy. I'm not like, I'm never mad at him. I see that he gets used by the powers that be, by the bookers as a nostalgia or a ratings grab. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, it's not Lashley versus Goldberg. In my mind, it's the idea of what you could do with Lashley versus the idea of what bookers want. Mm-hmm. The idea of building a somebody that may be worthy to be there all the time, who could put on a good show, who's also gonna get a little overlooked because of the color of his skin. A little bit. Now, I'm not saying that's all he is, but a little bit. Versus the established ratings grab. What is the bookers? What is Vince gonna do in this situation? What's the priority?
Continue to grow Lashley or just cash in on Goldberg for a cup of coffee?
For a cup of coffee for a ratings grab, right? Yeah. And it's like,
and possibly risk injuring somebody that he's in the ring with.
Yeah. God, I hope that they're going to give that to Lashley. Let Lashley actually beat him.
Yeah.
And that's my pick. I'm going with Lashley. Lashley needs to win this.
What about Roman Reigns against John Cena for the Universal title?
9. And at 9. Cena coming back, playing the role that The Rock pretty much played on him without getting called out on it is interesting to me. You know,
he doesn't have anything written on his own.
Yeah. If Cena got called out by Roman, I may be at a 10. Got called out, oh, Mr. Hollywood, you know, that's what exactly you said you wouldn't do to my cousin. But now the shoe's on the other foot, so now it's okay.
And then Cena acknowledging him being in Hobbs and Shaw. And then Roman's already following the rule that Cena said he wouldn't do, that The Rock said he wouldn't do.
Exactly. Like if they added that little extra, I'd be at a 10. I'm at a 9 because the other parts of their promos.
Because there's nothing wrong with missionary.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
As I get off, don't matter how.
Yeah. I mean, 3 minutes of heavyweight bout. And been knocked out in the first round. I mean, it's Bernie Mac. I mean, so far what we've got, I'm interested. Yeah. And for as much as I've hated Cena over the decades, and as much as I hated Roman, I feel like finally WWE has aligned the stars correctly enough to where I feel okay booing Roman
and cheering Cena.
The way that WWE wants us to react to them. WWE wants us to boo Roman. They want us to cheer Cena. And guess what? I'm booing Roman and I'm cheering Cena. Everything's aligned perfectly, finally, for the first time with their main eventers, with the person Vince wants you to react to in a certain way. And I'm reacting like that. How the fuck did this happen? How did we get here? This is magical.
I'm at a 9.
Magical.
I'm at a 9. I would be at a 10 if
you don't boo Roman, you acknowledge him. Thank you, Arnold.
I would be at a 10 if Roman. Oh man, I can't believe they brought up the Nikki Bella stuff. I don't know if I was cheering or kind of booing that they're trying to bring them back on television. I think I would have been at a 10 if Cena kind of sank a little bit to Roman's level. I know it's going to sound awful, but keep in mind before I say this that the movie that he's spoiler alert, because it's been a couple of weeks, but spoiler alert still for the sensitive people that get triggered. Cena actually plays a heel in the movie.
You're talking about Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad was fucking great.
He's ultimately a bad guy in there.
The twist at the end
so
is he winds up being the bad guy.
God, for the adults that want to watch this rivalry, just once, I just want Cena to say that I'm going to finish the job leukemia started. really hammer home, and you know what? And you know what? You know why? Because missionary isn't something that is for the kids. The Nikki stuff isn't for the kids. The protecting that the company's doing isn't for the kids. This rivalry is not for him. This ain't for the Fruity Pebbles. This is for us adults. We're the ones that are really reacting towards this rivalry.
Yeah.
So controversy creates cash. Why not go there? If you're going to bring up Cena's personal life,
I don't know.
If you're going to bring up Cena's personal life,
I don't know.
If you're going to give it, you better be ready to take it.
Okay.
So
I can't see Cena doing that. That's not in his character for like his character, and that's not like in the character of who he is with all the Make-A-Wish stuff. Like the Make-A-Wish stuff, he's still doing, even though he's in Hollywood. For him to make fun of somebody with leukemia,
kids will forget. Kids will forget the one promo, the one line. The adults will be like, "Oh man, Cena! I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm cheering."
Arnold says they can't do that because of the pink ropes in October. Now he does. Arnold also says that they have to throw in the fact that the movie bombed, which
it didn't.
Suicide Squad should not have bombed. I don't think it bombed. I know that there was people that were giving it very bad reviews. It's different. It's wild. It's crazy. It's out there. But I had so much fucking fun watching it. That was such a wild fucking ride. You need, if you haven't watched that movie, I'm sorry we gave you a little bit of the spoiler there, but you need to watch this movie.
Fine. Fuck it. Pop Culture Minute. Better movie. Suicide Squad with John Cena or Jungle Cruise with The Rock?
I haven't seen Jungle Cruise.
God damn it, Bobby. That movie's fun too.
Okay.
They're like right here.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Roman. Cena's off in fucking Hollywood land. Cena's back for a little short stint here and there. He's just going to show up, come, do the job, leave, come back next year for twice in a lifetime.
They're advertising the summer of Cena. And I don't think he's done all the 13 dates yet.
Summer of Cena is done at SummerSlam?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
In Houston, summers last till fucking November.
Well, this is true.
And then we get fall for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Almost hesitantly, at the expense of a Roman loss, I'm going for Cena. Not so much because it'll give him the 17th run, because number one, I don't believe it, because the Universal title is not a title. The Universal title is not a title.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's fake. It doesn't exist. It's
no,
fake news.
It's
fake
it
news.
exists.
No, not in Reigns. No.
Yeah, it does.
If they could take away Reigns from Charlotte Flair because it was an NXT, they could take away this. This don't count. It's an asterisk. This ain't real.
Yeah, it is.
Is he gonna defend the belt on Mars? Is he going to Jupiter?
No.
So the Universal title don't exist.
They call it the World Series, but it's only in America.
Yeah, but it ain't just Americans in those teams. So I want
Fuck
this.
you, Chris.
I want this. It's not that I'm anti-America. I'm pro-world. But the point is, you want to solidify Roman's heel run.
Yeah.
So how does the head of the table react
To a loss?
to a loss? Oh, this is what happens when you cross the head of the table. And then the rematch is like Cena Lesnar, 16 suplexes, but in Roman's way, where he obliterates Cena, obliterates him. And I was like, I was caught sleeping for one night. And look look how I rectified that. I dare somebody to come sit at my table. And that's where Roman's a big fucking deal because he killed Cena. Cena beats him by a roll-up. Oh, he caught me sleeping one night, and now I hurt him. Now he can't even make no movies no more. I hurt him. I put him out. I dare somebody to step up. Oh, you with the briefcase? I dare you to step up. Build that. But for that to happen, he has to lose. Cena wants to embarrass him. He's a guy that's done a lot. 16 world title runs. Awesome storylines with several people on the roster. Bring that to fruition. Cena was the guy that embarrassed Roman. He never said for how long, but he did what he said he was going to do. Okay. And now Roman with the come up kills him. This is leukemia.
How do you see this eventually working, or will it not work its way to Roman versus Rock?
The Rock.
You don't think that's ever going to happen?
Not one-on-one. No. The Rock. Cena's cool. The Rock is a fucking action star. Hollywood is not going to let him wrestle. You're aware that the rematch with Cena and The Rock had suffered a hernia through the match. Finished the match. Yeah. They delayed filming of Hercules because that happened during WrestleMania. They're not going to let The Rock wrestle a singles match anymore. Okay. So the rumor is the Usos are going to be divided. One Uso teams with The Rock. The other Uso teams with Roman. That's your Hollywood match. And that gives The Rock where he doesn't get overworked. Jimmy versus Jay with the other two actual stars in the corners? Yeah. Or backwards. It's a tag match. Oh, Roman and Jay. That way, and Jay, Rock and Jimmy. Okay. So that The Rock doesn't... That's strenuous for The Rock.
Robert. Has Lashley ever defended the world title in Antarctica?
Sidebar.
Oh, God.
The fucking Field of Dreams baseball game was an awesome view.
Was it?
Yeah, it was fucking cool. They came out from the cornfield. They did the introduction. The fucking game ended on a home run. Nice. A 3-run shot that ended up in the corn. Nice. To the point that WWE noticed, and they want to do things outside the box. One of the examples were they want to have Raw on the roof again. Remember the old Raw intro? Yeah, on the roof of the Titantron. They want to have
Titan Towers.
Yeah, they want to have an actual Raw episode up there,
like Money in the Bank. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what if WWE does a show in Antarctica?
No, you can't do a show in Antarctica.
On the ship, docked right there on the ice. You can do it.
No,
can be done.
No, it can't. No, that's too far outside the box. They're not. No.
You do it outside in Canada and tell them it's Antarctica.
That you can do. They'll call it the North Pole. They do that for Christmas. How about that? It's just off the coast of Nova Scotia. That's it. They're not really at the North Pole. It looks like it's freezing. It's just like 30.
Fine. I'll say it degrees. Out there. Tribute for the Taliban.
Oh, my God.
Then Drew brings out the sword. Yeah.
Cena wins and then loses the title to Finn in Saudi Arabia.
Cena wins the title and loses it to Big E, cashing in.
Are they still doing shows in Saudi?
They're supposed to have a crown jewel in October. They're supposed to do that again.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Big E cashes in on Cena.
If, again, going back to this thing with Big E and Corbin, does Corbin have the fucking briefcase?
Fuck. We'll find out
does
tomorrow.
He? Yeah.
Overall, SummerSlam. How many masks?
7.
7 masks?
Yeah. 6. 7. I don't know.
5 masks and a pair of gloves.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. There's a half of this I really am not going to watch.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to watch any of it.
Well, shit, then why did we spend 30 minutes talking about it?
I don't know.
TakeOver 36. What's the match you want to watch? Sunday.
Kyle versus Cole.
3 stages of hell.
Yeah. What are the 3 stages? I know that they said it, but I don't remember them.
Pinfall submission.
Okay.
No DQ. Steel cage.
That's for a 3 stages of hell. That's kind of no frills, but I'm okay with it.
Number.
8. 8.5.
Who's winning?
Kyle.
Oh no.
Kyle O'Reilly. He's going to lose the regular pinfall. No. He's going to win the regular pinfall, lose the no DQ for shenanigans somehow, and then win the steel cage via submission.
I hate to bring this up, but you know how
Hardy says 7.
How we got the fight forever chance?
How?
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Did Sami Zayn ever beat Kevin Owens in NXT?
No.
Exactly. I don't want Kylo to get this. Keep it going. They're obviously not going to fire Kylo either. So keep this going on the main roster.
Okay.
Show the newbies what's up. I'm at an 8, and I've got Adam Cole winning.
Okay. Baby.
Give me another match that you want to see.
Cross versus what's his name? Joe.
Number.
7. If we still 4, goddamn. If we still had Scarlett, maybe it'd be a little bit higher. Not because of just eye candy, which yes, eye candy, but Cross without Scarlett, there's something missing.
Cross suddenly wearing his own T-shirt instead of coming out in the suit and tie with the title over his shoulder.
Something's off with that. It's like
it's your perception.
Yeah.
Raw has done him no favors at all.
Yeah.
If he had never stepped foot on Monday Night Raw between the last 6 weeks and now, I'd be at an 11 because it's Killer Cross and Samoa Joe. But they completely killed Killer Cross for me.
Yeah,
they completely killed it to the point that it's weighing me. I could give a 10 just for Samoa Joe, and even now I'm at a 4.
When Cross came out, lip syncing the words to his own song, like how Scarlett did. Ooh, that was not good looking.
I got Joe winning because Cross is going to end up on the main roster anyway, but I'm at a 4. I probably might not even watch this live.
You know what? I actually got Cross winning because I don't think they're going to give it to Joe. I mean, I would love Joe to see it, and I know you're a Jomo-phile, but God damn, I don't know. Like giving it to Joe just doesn't seem.
Is it too obvious? Too anticlimactic almost?
Maybe. I don't know.
What else are you looking forward to?
I don't know. What else is on the card? At this point, I'm out of card.
LA Knight against Cameron Grimes.
Oh, yeah.
For the $1 million belt. If Cameron Grimes loses, Ted DiBiase becomes the new butler.
LA Knight's winning. Cameron Grimes losing. Ted DiBiase also becomes a butler somehow. And the shenanigans is going to be hilarious. The match, you're at a 10? I was going to say the match itself for me is at about a 6.
Anticipation. This story has had no bumps in the road whatsoever.
Grimy.
I don't think they've done any. I don't think there's any chapter in this story that they've told wrong.
Okay.
To the build to this match, it could be other shit, but getting here, it took me in. It's one of the reasons I still watch NXT somewhat religiously is because of that storyline. So it's earned it. I'm at a 10, and it's the ultimate payoff. Sometimes the easy story is right. Grimes is winning this.
Arnold says, "Oh, Virgil comes back."
I've been calling Virgil coming back. If it's part of the story, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
But I've got Grimes. The payoffs now. Grimes is winning.
Grimes, not LA Knight.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you can't see Ted DiBiase for a few weeks doing some sort of shenanigans, being a butler.
No.
No. Okay.
No, I see the rub in. So after he beats him the next night on NXT TV, it was like, I don't want you to feel too bad. I found you a suitable replacement for me, and then you bring in Virgil. You don't worry about it. I'm paying for it. Grimey's the baller. He's paying for Virgil to be LA Knight's butler.
No, DiBiase is paying for Virgil to be his butler.
And I know I'm gonna fuck this up when I say this. There's chemistry between LA Knight and fucking Cameron Grimes. What won me over was the golf skit where LA Grimes and there's chemistry there.
Yeah.
That's the next, because it's WWE Universe. That's the next odd couple tag team. LA Knight and fucking Grimy.
Okay.
That's where this is going to lead to. But Grimy's going to earn Knight's respect by beating him and taking the belt.
Robert. My only anticipating match is Ilya Dragunov versus Walter 2.
Okay.
10. I'm at a 9.
What's keeping you?
The fear of it not being as good as the first one, and the fact that this one might get overproduced, because now it's like, well, this match was so good on UK, we got to put it on main NXT.
And Twitter.
And Triple H is out there saying, oh, look at this match. Look at that. Regal. Oh, yeah, we're going to have this here. Oh, okay. This match was a sleeper hit. But now you're not going to let it be a sleeper hit. You're trying to force it to, oh, look how good it was. Look how good it was. We're going to do it again. That gets me nervous. Gets me a little nervous. I'm not at a 10 because of that. I'm still at a 9. Respectable 9. But
my only worry is at this point, I don't see Dragunov beating Walter for the title.
Okay.
And I would be a bit it's fucked up. I'm saying this. I would be disappointed if Dragunov wins the belt.
You'd be disappointed if Dragunov wins?
Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
I don't see it anymore. Like, again, like what you mentioned, it was a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
But now you want to like polish it and shine it and put it on a nice little band that has 4 other bands that connect, and you want to show it off at the fucking prom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a diamond in the rough, not because it wasn't a diamond. It was a fucking blood red ruby.
Yeah.
It was like something you weren't expecting. It doesn't go on a nice little engagement band.
It goes around your neck.
That thing was fucking rough.
Yeah.
The part of the reason why it was so appealing was because it wasn't like anything else you ever seen before. That match, that NXT UK match, doesn't belong on a takeover. It doesn't really belong anywhere. It benefited from the fact that it was from a show that was out of nowhere and was different. Remember, this was in the middle of fucking lockdown where we didn't have humanoids, and the only people that were reacting were the other wrestlers and other fucking
and the cameramen.
Yeah, the cameramen that were like, holy shit, what do we got here? Like a dozen people, maybe less than a dozen people cheering and clapping that you didn't even see, but you knew that they were behind the camera marking out. Putting this in front of a live audience where people like, I'm not sure. This might have the feel of something kind of like a Nick Gage match. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be as ugly and as unskilled as Nick Gage, but goddamn, it may be as gory.
It's going to be unnerving. Yeah.
And unnerving. That's a good word for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have Dragunov winning, Walter staying in NXT full-time. Yep, cool. Thank you, Robert. Arnold says
so. Is Walter the one that takes it off across? Then I said that a couple of times before. I want the beef,
maybe.
But you think by now WWE will overproduce all that shit? Also,
I see. Okay,
that's my bigger fear. Is this post NXT earthquake that since Killer Cross is overproduced and is now on the main roster because that's what Vince wants, that they're going to try to overproduce a lot of things or characters that don't necessarily need it. But because Vince is out of tune, he's going to just...
Can I say something maybe a bit controversial and definitely going to be unpopular?
Go for it.
I don't think Walter's that good in the ring. And he definitely isn't living up to the name ring general. He's not a ring general. He is a big man that has a really, really good chop and doesn't leave his feet. That's really about it.
Kind of the kind of guy that Vince likes.
True.
What did Hulk Hogan do when he left in AWA and went to WWE?
I agree.
Big guy, had the big boot, had the leg drop.
Yeah.
Other than that,
never
left his feet.
Right. But, and this is going to be a little controversial, I don't think he's even as good as Hogan.
Obviously not.
Wrestling ring-wise. Not over-wise, right? The charisma and stuff, that's different.
Hogan's color palette is about a couple of bags of Skittles. About 6 or 7 different things he does. Mm-hmm. As good as Walter is at the things he does, his color palette's probably like 2 shades of gray.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Well, shades of red. But yes.
Depending on what side of the hand you're on.
Yeah, like that chop, devastating. You know, a couple of boots and kicks, god damn, they look like they're going to kill you.
Chops the back now.
Chops the back.
It's the chop, but
does he do like a camel clutch?
He shouldn't even be the ring general. He should be the butcher because all he does is chop fools.
Yeah, like what he does is pretty tough, rough. God damn, it looks realistic.
It's awful.
But it's also not like new modern day big guys. And I know you like to say
there's a lot of modern big guys that do drop kicks, moonsaults. So Walter's drop kick is ugly compared to Keith Lee, Hernandez.
I mean, if you even
Big Show up the
compare
giant
him
WCW.
to Strowman. Strowman has a bigger moveset than this guy. Strowman could sell better than this guy.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, I don't think I've ever seen Walter sell. I think the first time I've seen Walter sell is with Dragunov.
But Strowman wrestles guys closer to his body type. Walter doesn't. So he doesn't need to sell.
He doesn't need to sell
as much.
But does he not need to sell? And they're using that to accentuate the positives because maybe the brother can't sell?
Possibly.
Maybe. I don't know.
I've been afraid to say what Abel is saying for years.
Thank you, Arnold.
Fuck it. We're saving the best for last. Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai for the women's title.
La cabrona, la chingona.
What Selena outfit is Mamacita bringing? I'm at another 10.
I would be at a 10 if it wasn't for the fact that it's...
Too soon? Arnold mentioned that he could still stretch this out a little more before the turn.
Yes.
You would stretch it out a little bit longer too?
Yeah, I would stretch it out a little bit longer, put a little bit more salsa on that fucking storyline.
Okay.
And for me, the reason why I'm at a 9 and not a 10 is mostly because of Dakota.
Really?
Mostly because of Dakota.
I'm expecting Dakota to get killed in like 60 seconds.
I'm expecting Dakota to get killed in 60 seconds too. While I will be happy that Dakota gets killed in 60 seconds, a 60-second match, a good match, no make.
That's Goldberg Lesnar.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I'm at a 10. I got Raquel winning this. This is gonna. There are no buffer matches here. It's just banger after banger. Mm-hmm. So if this is gonna be the buffer, play it to your strength. Have Gonzalez kill her quick.
Kill her dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking Saldivar that hoe. That done. Yeah. I'm at a 9 for TakeOver, and I'm probably watching this whole thing live. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be with Travis's house. But I'm more looking forward to this than I am SummerSlam.
Dakota wrestled as a face on main event last week. All right.
And that's the other
she's going up. Arnold, I think he means up to the main roster. Yeah, okay. This is her farewell, her send-off. Gets her ass beat by La Cabrona, La Chingona, and then shows up on the main roster.
Have you been keeping up with the NXT weekly episodes?
Like the show?
Yeah.
For the most part. I think I missed like week before last, but
our finals for the breakout tournament, Carmelo Hayes against Odyssey Jones. Is there anyone other see in the finals? Or is this the right final?
I wanted to be able to make an argument for the Aussie dude. What was it, Duke Hudson?
Duke Hudson. From the moment I saw him, he looked like a Vince McMahon crush. Like that's the kind of guy Vince McMahon wants. This breakout tournament feels like this is how NXT is gonna end up. We're gonna get a lot of no-namers. The first breakout tournament had fucking ACH in it, and he wound up winning it because he had the most popularity.
I liked Hudson's look, and I wanted to see more of him. And I wanted to see what the charisma that he actually had was. Not like in a tournament, where a tournament you're kind of showcasing the wrestling. Did you catch him on
commentary that second week when he watched his opponent?
I believe so. And I was like,
good.
Okay, cool. I want to see more of this charismatic side of him.
Yeah.
You know, which, again, a tournament showcases your in-ring and doesn't showcase your charisma necessarily, right? So I wanted to see a little bit more. Because it was just a breakout tournament. He had his generic little entrance, his generic butt rock music. Well, no, it wasn't even butt rock. He had something else, but like it all seemed like creator wrestler. It was
just a didgeridoo in the background.
Yeah, it all seemed very creator wrestler, but like I wanted to see him go through that second evolution. you know. So yeah. Now Odyssey, now that guy's interesting, but we already have an Odyssey with Keith Lee
and Willie Mack.
Well, Willie Mack's not in NXT.
Well, you go out there, yeah.
Odyssey is so over. He is over. But I don't know.
I think it's to Carmelo Hayes' advantage that he's already had reps on NXT television for people that actually like him.
Yeah.
I like him. He's a cool guy.
I think he's
a
right.
character. He's got a little bit of personality. I'm not hating on the fact that it's black on black final at all. I'd be happy with either dude. It just, again, and I hate that I'm going to say this, but lately, the track record with WWE and their handling of NXT, and now with how Vince, or alleged Vince's opinion on what he expects the future of WWE to look like, I'm worried that a guy that has the charisma and talent of Carmelo Hayes be swept under the rug for a bigger guy. That's my only gripe, you know, and that's before you take into consideration that I could only invest in these kids for so long because what we see here is not going to mean a lick of beans as soon as they show up on the main roster.
I mean, if you think of it, like, I know we're not super big sports guys and football guys, right? But I know Arnold is, and he's still in the chat. I would think that you would think of it more as like NCAA. Right. And I think that's what Vince wants it to be.
Before name and likeness.
NCAA football. Yeah. Right. Where it's like they're in college 2, 3, sometimes 4 years. They're going to get drafted. And the people that are really into football watch that because they want to see the people that go into the NFL. They really, really like the NFL. But the NCAA is where they keep their eye on just to see. Now, yeah, there's a few football fans out there that only watch NCAA, but, you know, whatever. Those are the weirdos, right? But, like, people that are really hardcore into football, they keep their eye on that over there, you know, just to see their stars of tomorrow and where they'll go when draft day comes around, right? Draft day, oh, man, they really need to pick this guy, you know. But it's almost like they're watching NCAA so that it supplements their NFL addiction, you know? So I think that's what Vince wants NXT to be. That farm system where it'll be the young, the prospects that they home grow,
the nobodies that become somebody.
Yeah, and then they'll bring them in. But and which was kind of just fly in the face of what Triple H was doing, which is, hey, here's the guys that deserve a shot. They've made their name on the indies, and no, Vince wants to make their own names because they don't want to have to
give up half of the rights because the name's already fucking.
Well, goddamn, I can't own the name Samoa Joe because he already owns Samoa Joe, and he wants to be
own
Samoa
Chelsea
Joe.
Green because she was born with it.
Yeah, like if Chelsea Green showed up, she'll be like, Brittany Blue. You know, I could copyright Brittany Blue. Chelsea Green, you know, I doubt that fool's name really is Odyssey Jones. I mean, maybe it is, but I mean, his mama named him Odyssey. I'll call him Odyssey. His name's really Cassius.
Next week on Dynamite.
God damn, we're not done with this episode?
Almost. Orange Cassidy against Matt Hardy.
All right. 8.
Okay.
8. I think it'll be a good match. Hardy, his stable is a little weak.
It's overcrowded. There's a lot of people in it.
There's just too many fucking stables in AEW, right? But yeah, his one is a little overcrowded, and it's like at this point, if you're gonna be big money, Matt, and you're kind of in a managerial role for the young kids, I don't want to see you wrestling. I want to see you in feuds, directing your minions to fight Orange Cassidy. Like, we love Orange Cassidy. He's got a great gimmick. The kid's great. He's funny. He's hilarious. But Orange Cassidy has no business fighting Matt Hardy at this point when Matt Hardy has throngs of other young kids to throw at him. So I'm at 8.
7. It's Cassidy.
Okay. Arnold's at a 2. God damn.
Fuck. Oh, he's more of an Apple guy. I got Cassidy win.
Okay.
Red Velvet against Jamie Hayter.
4.
5 is mostly for Red Velvet. The sooner this match happens on the episode, the better.
I'm not sold on Velvet nor Cargill. Not yet. I'm not.
No, this
sold
is
on...
Hater. This isn't Cargill.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just comparing them both because they kind of debuted somewhat at the same time. So I'm kind of comparing them both. I'm not sold yet. I know that they both had a match that was kind of impressive. I think we were talking about this when we were at Hector's place the last time.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, "Oh wow, this was pretty cool," but I need to see more of them to be sold on them. And yeah, Velvet is in that boat for me. Now, Hater, what the fuck is a Hater? I'm supposed to know her? I don't remember her.
Yeah.
So no,
Velvet's winning. I'm at 5.
Okay, Velvet's winning. Arnold says Velvet impressed him, and he's at an 8.
Wow.
An 8. God damn. Okay.
Brock Anderson against Malachi Black.
7.
All Malachi, huh?
Almost all Malachi. Almost. I did get a little chuckle when Brock cut the promo back there with his daddy, Arn, and Arn's like saying, "You don't need to do this," or whatever it was, and Brock's like, "I'm going to do it." And it's like, wow, you really are your daddy's kid. Like, he was like, Mr. No Charisma, but I'm going to have a little bit of charisma by just being tough. With all due
respect.
With all due respect, I'm about to say something disrespectful, Dad. Like, he's like one of those kids that calls his dad Sarge if he was like in the army, right? Like, yes, sir, Colonel. Like, that's your dad. You don't need to call him Colonel, right? But like that's what he strikes me as. Like, he's definitely his dad's son.
He's been off of television for a while. I shouldn't be the one to say this, obviously, because I've been in my 3rd trimester for like 9 years. But Brock, he's been off of TV for a while. I hope he's in better shape because he looked doughy. He did not look like a guy that should be in a wrestling ring. He looked like a guy that should have been buying a ticket. And Malachi's going to kill him, which is what I really obviously want to see.
Arnold says Lil Arn is going to die.
Yeah. Varsity Blondes against the Lucha Bros. Eliminator Tournament.
7, 6, 7. I don't know.
8.
8.
Okay. Lucha Bros. And not to be mean, Brian Pillman.
Yeah. I mean, I want to cheer for Brian Pillman, but right now, Varsity Blondes, they haven't really made it out of the blocks yet.
Dude, just imagine on fucking Dynamite, or on fucking Rampage, the main event of Rampage is fucking Jurassic Express and the Lucha Bros with the winner going against the Bucks in a fucking cage.
That's pretty cool.
I've got Lucha Bros in it.
Okay, Lucha Bros, yeah. Yeah, Lucha Bros.
Or if we get shenanigans and it's Lucha Bros, Jurassic Express, Young Bucks, all in the cage.
Arnold says 7 Lucha Bros.
Of course.
Lucha Bros and Pillman Jr.? Wait. What? The fuck you mean, Arnold?
Whew. That's everything so far.
Great.
Chris stole my take. Ah, shit, I steal everything.
Yeah.
Before we go.
Oh.
How about a little bit of an upper?
Oh. Because I still got more stuff to talk about.
Oh, shit. Okay, we're going to go to the bureau.
Remember how I said I'm not watching SummerSlam?
Yeah.
I'm also not watching NXT. Do you want to ask me why?
You're working, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Both shows, aren't you? Mm-hmm. God damn it.
So, DZW is having their next show on Saturday. SummerSlam Saturday. So if you're not watching SummerSlam and you're in Katy, Texas, come on out to the Hanger Unity Center in Brookshire, which is right outside of Katy, a little bit further west, and come see your boy ring announce.
God damn.
Yes. Now, ask me why I'm not watching TakeOver.
Why aren't you watching TakeOver?
Because UPW is having a show on Sunday.
Santa Fe?
Texas City.
Texas
City.
So
make sure.
So now you're competing with ROW now.
Make sure you come out to the Texas City Live Bar and Grill to see your boy ring announce. Now, in UPW's defense, They did have a little bit of
Early?
They're going early. I believe bell time is 3 p.m. Don't quote me on that just yet. But it's an afternoon show. I think it's 3. If it's not 3, it's like 4 or something like that. So not directly competing against NXT. But yes, if you're going to be in Texas City, you need to find some wrestling that's live before you watch the wrestling on the telly. Come on out and see your boy ring announce. There you go. Now, what did you have?
Before we go, let's end this on a high.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say one word, and I just want to hear your reaction to it.
Oh shit.
Index.
Oh. Oh man, I can't believe we didn't talk about this. Oh.
Better romance, RK Bro or Index? You're actually gonna try to put over Orton? Are you struggling that hard? Wow. Told you I was gonna try to end this on a high.
Index. Because there's actually a chance of somebody getting laid in that one. Yeah.
Riddle has the hair.
I mean, RK Bro is cool, but I'm not like
you're not infatuated.
Right.
There's a bit of infatuation with this.
I know that no matter what, I don't care if it's 15 years from now and they've spent the last 15 years together, I'm still nervous for fucking Riddle to get RKO'd out of nowhere.
And then sent to AEW.
Yeah, like it's Orton. He's going to stab him in the back.
I don't stab him in the front.
I mean, okay, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I just don't know when. Like I said, it could be 15, 20, 30 years from now. Randy Orton could be 74 years old. And at some point, he's just going to be like, you know what? I'm tired of this kid. And then boom, RKO. It's So I can't be fully invested with them as a team, as a unit, like fucking New Day or Index. I think Index, oh God, I hope that's forever. I hope it's forever.
You know why I'm picking Index?
Why? True friends stab you in the front. Thank you, Arnold.
Because
missionary style.
Like Kiss of the Dragon. I remember that movie. It's making me care about Gargano and fucking Candice LeRae. It's making me care about them.
Okay.
And it's becoming a bit of an infatuation for me. We mentioned this earlier. Wrestling's best when it's mixed in with realism.
Okay.
So the fact that Candice is actually pregnant and they're practicing parenting by doing it with fucking Index.
Yeah.
And Austin Theory, which I don't know where the fuck he went. They might have left him at a fucking firehouse, but they're trying to raise Index to be they're trying to raise Indy to be a good girl.
Yeah. It's just not working.
It's not working.
Yeah.
And that's and again the WWE machine. I'm expecting before the year is over some random tag team match that involves Gargano and fucking Dexter Lumis on the same team having to work together to make the mom and the daughter happy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Index all the way. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he lost the match and they didn't give a fuck. They're still there doing it.
Yeah. Like lost the match. But he went in the bedroom that night. Yeah.
Plenty of pie.
Yep. Oh, God. There wasn't any pie on that menu. I checked that menu back in front. God damn. I lost it when that happened. Oh, my God. He had room for pie.
If only Dexter did the eyebrow.
Oh, yeah. Or just like. just licked his lips. Yeah.
Or go like this. We don't know what that smells like. And
Damn.
on that,
adios, my friends. Keep it classy. Damn. That was a long-ass episode.
hey, man, we could have cut some of this out if you came last week.
Well, I know, but it didn't happen. Sorry.
Oh, dude. It's just as a teaser.
Oh, shit. We're this episode's still going.
If our next episode is the Go Home for All Elite, we'll be talking about Rampage Go Home show 2 nights of New Japan, All Out, and then NXT, and then Dynamite. We're talking about all that.
It's too much content, man. Too much content. Done.
Thanks, guys. 2 weeks, probably.